Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Spooktober event. This is Candela, Obscura, the Forge of EONS. Fair warning, the book is not actually out yet. We are working off of the dropped information that we have. So be nice. We're faking it until we make it. We have a wonderful crew today and a wonderful lightkeeper today, so it's going to be a good time, and we're definitely going to be traumatized, but that's what we're here for. We're also here for the kids, because it is Spooktober for Extra Life. We are raising money for Extra Life, which is an amazing organization that works across Canada and the US, and they raise critical care funds for the Children's Miracle Network, and just to give kids something to do when they're waiting between appointments and whatever. So if you got a couple bucks, it'd be great if you could donate to that link that Artemis just posted. Or if you're on Twitch, down below the video screen, there's a little module you can use instead. And basically, you just got to pick your favorite person on the team and give them some money. Super easy. As well, our sponsor for today is Canadian Dice. You can go to canadiandice.ca, use the code THEVECTAIR, all one word, at checkout to get 15% off of your order. Maggie's dice pick of the week is the Demon Eye dice, which I think is very fitting for the spoopy season. It's also what we've been blaming for all of our tech issues this week. So we're just going to go with that. If you don't do tech stuff, then you don't need to worry about it. Go get some Demon Eye dice. There are two designs over on our merch shop at vacmerch or tinyurl.com/vacmerch. That will go towards Extra Life. It's our You're Not You When You're Bloodless and Pumpkin Spice Basic Witch. If you know, you know. That's all I'm going to say. Because I've got a problem with vampire boys. What can I say?
Only vampire boys?
Don't limit yourself.
I mean, vampire boys, sexy muscle mommy tieflings. Like, they made that party too sexy.
You know what Corvée said exactly. Just I don't need to add to that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. You can always check our schedule by doing !schedule in Twitch. That'll point you in the right direction. And we've also got some special one-shots again this week. We've got table number 9 on Tuesday at 8:30. That is a 10 candles game with storyteller Ryan from Canadian Dice. He's taken over the channel for the night. If hopelessness and no survivors is not your bag, don't tune in, because it is very unlikely anybody survives.
And if it is, bring Kleenex.
Yep.
Tissues. Hashtag not sponsored. But we are sponsored, but not by that.
Puffs on those in need.
Yeah, not Kleenex. We're not sponsored by hashtag Kleenex. No.
It's too dry. They're too dry. They're not soft.
There's the ones with the lotion on it.
Yeah, but the very
It puts the lotion on its skin.
Oh my gosh.
Wednesday, we've also got another Spooktober event. It is our Retirement at the Opera, which is a Brindlewood Bay TTRPG. It's basically Murder, She Wrote meets H.R. Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft, rather. Not H.R. Lovecraft. Human Resources Lovecraft. Very
Lovecraft if he wasn't anti-Semitic.
Yeah. Fun and cute and creepy, and they're all like 70-year-old ladies, and it's going to be awesome. So if you want to tune into that, that's Wednesday at 8:30.
Wait, say that again? Wednesday at when?
8:30. But we have MCC at 9 o'clock over on Goodman Games.
You're not in that one.
But you said 70-year-old ladies, and I got excited.
Well, it'll be up on the VOD, and it'll be up on our YouTube afterwards.
Okay.
So you can
listen
rewatch
one ear while you're playing.
Yeah,
I'm
because
not Artemis.
because Cedar
Don't
needs that
judge
distraction.
Don't judge me for how I edit audio, okay?
I'm judging personally because I'm overstimulated just listening to that. So we're just going to go around the table really quick and introduce who our players are. And did you want to wait on character introductions or do them at the same time?
No, you can do them at the same time.
Okay,
You're more than
well,
welcome.
let's start with our brand new face to the Vactier, Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I make video games, most notably the Lego games you might have played. And I am playing... are we doing characters as well? Yeah.
Sure.
I'm playing Edgar Fletcher, a wiry figure, slick back hair, bit shifty looking. Likes to potter with chemicals and glassware and such like.
Nice.
Super fun. I ship it already. Don't ask questions. You'll see. Cedar.
That's me.
That's you.
Hi,
Hi. Who are you and who are you playing?
I'm Cedar. Oh, I'm Cedar the Barefoot, and I'm playing Terry. Terry Thomas. Pronouns are situational.
Fair. Anything
Yeah.
else you can tell us about Terry?
I could tell you a lot, but I don't think we have enough time for that. Let me just open up my chat with Corvus because I've already forgotten.
Like, we
Quick
went
elevator
hard.
pitch.
It's a one shot.
elevator
We
pitch.
all went hard on the backstories.
If anybody here watches Mistwalkers, imagine Tommen just in a different universe, essentially.
Oh no.
Oh.
You know,
Fascinating.
like painfully androgynous and veritable gentleman who does not bode well with blood and gore, though is very science and alchemically minded. Just a little guy, a cinnamon roll. You know, multilingual, wants to make friends with any pet, any dog, cat, rat, bird. Horrifying creature that has spikes all and horns in different places where its eyes should be, things like that, you know, but does get motion sick in cars and seasick on boats and horrible vertigo in elevators and stuff. Once
we're not taking the streetcar anywhere.
Yeah, once built a trebuchet with friends at university and launched pumpkins over the rolling hills of the countryside and probably right through some poor farmer's barn roof.
Probably.
But in my defense, Tara
Science.
was there, and she let me do it, and it was for science.
Yes. I blame Tara personally.
She didn't say any. She didn't say no.
Rick.
Hello.
I'm Rick. I'm the game master for the Hammer of the Gods podcast. I'm also here a lot, as much as they let me be. So I just kind of live here too sometimes. And tonight I am playing August Welter, who is our weird occultist.
Yes.
Nice.
Weird?
Nice. Well, I mean, weird is situational and
I guess.
It's like a class in this game.
Yeah.
Basically.
I have said my class. I'm a face.
You're the face.
I made weird my personality.
The only face.
Sure.
No one else
Artemis.
Hi, I'm Artemis. I'm the social media manager and content coordinator for the Vactier. I am playing Tara Sumner, and she's the group mom, because that's what I do. And she's the muscle explorer of the group.
Muscle mom.
Yep, muscle
Yep.
mom. Because somehow I still did that on accent.
Yep.
What?
Emily, who are you? And what are you doing for this
Hi.
game?
I'm Emily. I'm the light keeper. I'm not terrified. No,
Okay, it's just us.
I'm sensing that you're lying.
Yes, I am Corvée on all the socials. I don't have Twitter because Twitter doesn't exist anymore. I basically, yeah, I write adventures. I play in adventures. I'm here a lot. Sometimes I do little writing streams on my own channel that I've streamed on like 5 times. I'm gonna be the light keeper. I'm trying to wrangle these folks and hopefully scare people a little.
Good luck.
I have a question. Are you secretly a lighthouse? You have to tell us.
I don't think so,
If you're
but you
secretly
might
a
end up
lighthouse,
in
you have
one
to
at one
confess.
point.
Love lighthouses. Usually
mean,
one
if you
usually
are-
one avoids them.
If you are, August can help fix you. So
That's
There
true.
you
Don't
go.
do that.
scared.
I'm Affy. This is my stuff. Don't break it. But break it, because it's funny. I will be playing Joe Felix. Her role is the Slink, and she's questionably ethically moral.
Maybe.
That tracks.
You'll fit right in.
Yep. That's all I got. So, Emily, it's all you, baby.
Okay, here we go. So we start our story in a large turn-of-the-century city filled with people. New electric lights illuminate parts of the seaside city of New Fair, but there are deep, dark pockets as well. New Fair is a complex place, as are most cities. In the steel, smokestacks churn as laborers work to build the new technologies that power and expand this city. One particular factory, small though it is, holds a small furnace room where especially skilled hands create a new alloy, both strong and fashionably shiny. Two people sweat inside their protective suits as they carefully pour molten metal into a set of molds on the floor, while scientists look on from an enclosed balcony. The shift ends, congratulations are shared, and the workers and scientists disperse toward their respective homes. One of those workers is a young man, well-built, about 25 years old, with warm brown hair worn swept back, and the start of what could be a fantastic mustache. He whistles through the steel as he makes his way home to the south soffit, making his way finally up to the third floor of a plain building and opening the door to a small but functional apartment. He immediately sets to work heating a pot of water for tea as he cleans himself up from a long day of work in the forge. He rinses off in his small standing shower, and before he's even able to retrieve his towel, he feels an odd sensation and a bit of pale pink gooey substance drips onto the floor. Turning around to look, he watches as another bit drips down to the floor from his finger, or off his finger? Part of his finger. Large portions of his skin begin to slough off until, without a sound louder than a dense squelch, he collapses onto the floor of his bathroom.
You just adipose this guy.
Yeah, Jesus Christ,
What do
what a
you
way
mean?
to start.
Yeah, fucking hell.
By the way, there's body horror in this game.
What?
Meat bag.
Really? Was that
Be
in the
prepared.
Was that in the script?
And now we're going to kind of... I'm going to ask each of you to kind of improvise where you are right now, where you would be individually, kind of doing your own thing, and who would like to go first to kind of describe your character, where they are, what they're doing. Oh no.
Poor Chris.
You might be first.
No, I'll do it. I don't care.
Everybody did the nose goes thing.
I
And
didn't
If you have a
realize
nose, you
were doing
go.
it.
you may not.
We need
You
to
may not
explain
be
nose
aware.
goes. If you, it's something. I don't know if I started it, but I definitely did participate in it. It's you. Everyone puts their fingies on their noses to say nose goes, and whoever doesn't have their fingy on their nose last has to do the thing. But I'd be willing to go first, unless you would like to go first.
No, go ahead. I'll catch up.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Hello. We're alone.
Yeah, it would be whatever, like, home you live in, whatever you find yourself doing on a typical day in the New Fair.
I imagine that Terry Thomas rents a room in some sort of a boarding house, just probably about the size of my office right now, maybe about like 8 by 6 or so, not terribly large.
Yeah.
But it is filled to the brim with everything. There appears to possibly be a bed in one corner. It's
Sure.
covered in laundry and books and more books, papers, charred and uncharred, more books. Maybe there's a box of bones in the corner, very large box of bones, wooden box of bones. The lid won't close anymore, and there is a horrifying amount of what looks like a child chemistry set, but much larger. So possibly an entire lab has been shoved into this room. There's scorch marks all up the wall and onto the ceiling from the front of that project table up to the ceiling. There's a small, I imagine like a small stove, like a small firewood stove, just like a one little, maybe like a 2-foot affair, like a 2x2 or maybe a 2x3 affair. Provides a bit of warmth, and nice little window, but there's and several blankets that are tacked over it, so there's so no one else can. So there's a lot of things in here that will be affected if they are touched by solar light. So you can't do that. I have far too many phototypes going on in here. There's a camera section over in here. It's a mess. Maybe there once was a floor. I imagine that through what seems to be half of a telescope, like maybe, or like a half a binocular or something like that, like a telescope monocle or something like that, standing over something over a Bunsen burner, having just lit it, Terry sets aside the igniter and just is like very carefully adding a small squiggle of magnesium to whatever the hell is over the flame.
Does it blow up?
What do I roll?
Oh, well, I guess we could say...
First roll of the game!
Let's do focus. That makes sense to me.
I have the if this character sheet is anything to go by, my first circle is highlighted there, so...
Yes, so you get 1 die. It doesn't look like you have any drives and intuition, so you have nothing to add. So
I forgot to mention
the best.
Starting with does Cedar die?
So Terry's just an adorable little curious thing, okay? Not exactly an idiot, but they went to university, so obviously there's some
They are
idiocy
intelligent,
there.
not wise.
Yes.
So am I rolling the fancy dice, or am I rolling one of the billion other non-fancy
Just a regular one.
Okay, because I have those fancy dice over here. All right, don't fuck me, Ryan. I rolled a 4.
Okay, that's a
Isn't that
mixed
good?
success.
Okay.
It's not a failure. At least not a complete failure. I think it starts to, because it's magnesium, it kind of flares up and maybe bubbles over onto the table. It's all over your notes.
The entire boarding house echoes with maniacal laughter.
There's some sort of strange smell happening.
Maniacal, non-binary laughter, and then a series of coughs.
Something happened. You might be able to use this for like a trick, a distraction, something like that. Yeah.
Pour it into a bottle.
There you go.
And I throw open the door and let the smoke out into the hallway.
As you throw open the door, you see someone standing outside about to knock on your door, and they go, "Oh, what is happening?
Don't breathe in! Don't breathe in!
Harry, here you are," and they hand you a letter, that looks familiar on familiar paper. Seems as though you are being summoned to the lighthouse.
Oh, fuck off!
At your leisure, then. Here you go, and he like runs away.
I reach up and I put out a string of hair that was on fire, and I slam my door.
All right. Who would like to go next?
I'm happy to go now.
All right, go for it.
Edgar is, in fact, already at the lighthouse, in a lab that contrasts markedly with Terry's. This lab is organised. It is pristine. It is a meticulously laid out alchemy lab. And although it appears to be perfectly tidy, Edgar is nevertheless working his way through a wall full of ingredients and resources, checking them, making notes in a little logbook, and ensuring that everything is exactly where it ought to be.
Oh, very nice. Are you working on anything in particular, or you're just cataloging the stuff that you have?
This is just routine checking. The stock is all there, and all of the equipment is clean and functioning properly.
Oh, okay.
Can I add on to that?
Yeah.
Joe is also there.
Oh,
meticulously going behind Edgar and moving the bottles.
I've just done those. Please leave them alone.
It's not even alphabetical, darling.
They're not sorted by alphabet. They're sorted by their alchemical component.
Those were words.
Just leave it, Josephine.
I hate when you call me Josephine.
Well then, leave my equipment alone.
Did he just do the Athelstan clear his throat thing? Sorry.
without
Look,
even
if you
knowing
gave me a
that it-
distraction, I might stop fucking with your organization.
Are you bored?
Or why would I be here if I wasn't?
Yes, that's fair.
Look, I got wrapped on the wrist. I'm not to do any sort of burglary for the next week. So I'm bored. And you're my favorite person.
Yes, well.
Eddie, come on.
Fine. Well, alright, make yourself useful.
Very well.
All of the stuff in that sink needs to be re-scrubbed. I know it looks clean, it's not.
Do I look like a dish maid to you?
You're bored.
I'm not doing your chores.
Fine. Well then, go and be bored somewhere else.
No, I'm not leaving you. You're too much fun.
Alright.
As you're both in here bickering, Milton Hayes comes in. He's one of the people who works here. He's kind of a retired agent. Got one vivid blue eye, and the other one is completely grayed over and dead looking, with a bright pink scar that kind of runs down the side of his face. And he's like, "Excuse me,
Milton! Thank
yes.
goodness you're here.
We've sent for the rest of your circle, so they should be on their way here. Just so you know, maybe meeting in the sitting room downstairs, if you don't mind."
Marvellous. Thank you, Milton.
Anything.
Thanks,
There you go,
Milty.
Josephine. Put that down, please.
Look, it looked explosive and I thought it might be useful.
It might also be explosive.
And?
Alright.
Is it explosive?
Yes, that one is. Just don't set it off inside the lighthouse.
No promises. And I scurry off to the sitting room.
Okay. Awesome.
Milton, are there crumpets?
Some sort of biscuits or something, I think. I could retrieve. Maybe some tea.
I suppose.
All right, I'll get that. He goes off. He kind of toddles a little bit. He's got a walking stick, and who would like to go next?
I can go.
All right.
August is also at the lighthouse, but probably in whatever they have that would pass for a library. With
Oh yeah.
no less than a dozen books, all open to various pages, and he's just poring over them, clearly comparing notes from one to the other and making notes of his own in the books.
Of course. In the books. I think that is probably on the floor below the lab, and so Milton, on his way down to fetch some tea and crumpets, walks by and says, August, just so you know, we're fetching Tara and Terry, and I've just nabbed the others from the lab. If you would like to get ready to meet in the sitting room shortly.
Well, I'll be there before too long. Now, if there's not
Right.
a distraction from upstairs, I can finally do some proper reading.
All right, well, time is of the
Augie!
essence.
Come and have tea with me.
Oh, dear. Phew.
All right.
I think they're gathering now, sounds like. I'll grab some tea.
Write a book.
He kind of-
women in first class.
He waits till Joe goes by because he's not very steady on his feet and then kind of
He knows
toddles down the stairs.
Group hydrate.
Line
Have
down
some
too
tea.
many
Thank
times.
you.
Damn it, Alyssa.
I'm sorry, I keep
So,
fucking
yeah.
with my camera. It keeps falling down.
That's okay.
Okay, Maggie.
Was Maggie here?
All right. Would you like to give any more description of August before we move on? Or are you good?
No, he's gonna, stay there and do some more reading
Yes.
while he
All
can
right.
in peace.
Sounds good. Then we go to Tara, last member.
Tara
circle of-
is
Circle of the Bone Saw, by the way. This is who we
Yeah.
are here.
Tara is in a bar in the Red Lamp, and she is arm wrestling somebody who probably looked at her sideways, and just throwing back a pint. And yeah, she wears men's clothes. She's almost 6 feet tall, built like you wouldn't believe, and yeah, she's just having a good time.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna have you make a strike roll.
Okay.
Since you said you're arm wrestling.
Okay,
So that's
I have 2 in there. So I
two
have 2
dice.
dice.
One of them is gilded.
One of them is gilded. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And you have lots of drives, so if you want to add dice, you can. But
I rolled a 4.
okay, that's a
On my
mixed
gilded
success. Oh, even better. So, well, we haven't used any drives yet, but you would get one back if you had. You managed to a 4 is a mixed success, so you managed to kind of take control of the situation, and you're pushing them down. And as you kind of do like your finishing move, you smack your hand on the table really hard, and it's just, the tables here are not that nice, so maybe you get like a splinter in your hand. But yeah, you won your arm wrestling bout.
Smack the other person's hand on the table? Have I been arm wrestling wrong my whole life?
I would get it like in the tips
Like-
of my fingers from
Yeah.
going like this.
Oh,
I would get it. I would get like here. Is where it would be.
my autistic image thinking didn't match up with your autistic image thinking. My sorry. Mea culpa.
So you
got
won
the
your bout.
match.
Thanks. And they
Care
like
to go
get up.
again?
No, they're like, no, and they just like take a bill out of their pocket, put it down on the table, and look at their empty wallet and walk away.
Yeah, she like throws back the rest of her pint and puts the money in her wallet.
All right. As you're kind of getting up from this table, you see someone is at the front door of this bar. They're holding like a little scrap of paper that might have directions and a familiar looking envelope that looks like it's coming from Candela. And they're like looking around the room. And they
Oi,
see
over
you.
here.
Ah! And this, it's like a younger girl. She's kind of quick. She runs up. She's like, someone told me to give this to you. You weren't at home, so here you go.
All right, thanks.
And then she, like, dashes off, and you have a letter asking you to come to the lighthouse.
Of course. And make sure to leave a tip for the bartender and head out.
All right. you all, those of you that were out, trickle into the lighthouse.
I
Those
don't.
of you that are there eventually meet in the sitting room.
No, I don't.
Stop being difficult, Terry.
I don't go there. No. Fuck that.
Where do you go?
No.
Tara
No.
just bodily
It's a one-shot,
carries
Terry,
Terry
stop
to the lighthouse.
No.
Where do you go?
Okay, you bodily carry me? Fine.
I think Tara would.
Like her
Yeah,
round,
that's what
like
I was saying.
Tara sees you on the way and just no.
just going the opposite direction. Just like, come on. No.
Come on, Terry, we got to go.
No. Put me down, you Scottish oaf.
No. Let's go.
Fuck. Just
We'll
And,
thank you later.
mope the whole way like Princess
Yeah,
Fiona.
like over my shoulder.
I love the idea that since there's no Scotland in this world, that Scottish is just an insult that Terry came up with.
Yes.
I should say English instead.
As you both enter in, one of you flung over the other shoulder.
Kicking.
Everybody's in the
Snacking, clawing, biting.
everyone's in the sitting room and enjoying some tea and biscuits.
Put
Maybe
me
a
down, or you will suffer the consequences.
The
How are
biscuits
you
are maybe
gonna
a
do
little
about it?
stale.
This is not dignified. Put me down.
Well, if you wouldn't try to run away every time I set you down, I'd put you down. And I'd just
Bite you.
drop him on a couch.
I bite you on the way down.
Afternoon, Tara. Terry.
Hey, Edgar, how's it going?
Well, apparently not terribly well, otherwise we wouldn't be gathered here.
That's
fair.
offensive. What if
Precisely
I sent
why?
out the invitation and this is just tea?
Did you, Joe?
Would you use the same stationery?
Maybe. I don't
fuck
have my
will
own
they make-
stationery, so I would have had to steal it.
Oh, fuck all. That does make sense then, doesn't it? At least they provided crumbs this time.
I can pay.
I'm shoving them in my pockets.
August makes his way in after everyone else, like once it's fully chaotic.
Probably still have like 2 books in your hand, and you're like,
Oh,
where did he-
absolutely.
I bump into you trying to leave. Terrible with a scarf.
Milton,
How are you the last to arrive when you were just downstairs?
I was busy.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry that some of us have reading to do.
I was busy too, and yet I'm here. I hate
I
it.
was busy too, helping Eddie organize the lab.
I literally just look over at August like,
You know, Terry, you should really learn to hide from Tara better.
I don't know how she spotted me. Meanwhile,
Because I'm so tall.
no. Meanwhile, Terry is 6'4" and built like a pencil.
It's like
That's
doesn't
why.
stand out at all. As you all kind of settle into, like, just as quickly as you settle into the sitting room,
I hate it.
Milton-
Hateful.
Milton steps into the doorway. Like I said, mid-40s. He's very tidy in his dress and a bit quiet. And he's got that scar, and he's like, wonderful you're all here. No need to remove your coats. We're taking a trip. And he
Oh, good lord.
puts on this like wool coat and a top hat, a very nice black brushed top hat, and steps through the front door, waiting for all of you to follow.
Oh,
But
I'll grab my bag.
Just take it to go.
Well, I Irished it up. It was supposed to be.
It's not as if there's a law about drinking. It's not as if there's a law about drinking in public.
Irish is also an insult. Just kidding.
We're making up the lore as we go.
Yeah.
I put on
Look,
my
there's
coat.
the book's not out yet. Anything goes.
I put on my coat, and there's like very obvious rattling of like metal on metal from the inside of it. And you would all know, like, I carry like thieves' tools, crowbar,
Yeah.
rope, all that stuff.
Speaking of that, quick question: which pocket does Tara carry her wallet in?
Front right.
Boobs.
What do I roll to steal it?
While
I was-
think
while
that
I
would
was over the
be-
shoulder.
Ooh, what would that be?
Control?
Maybe?
How does one have a how does one tell if one has a
Finesse?
vibe?
It says, yeah,
Oh.
control. If it has a bold circle, you
Oh.
have that. If you don't have any circles, then you roll 2 and take the lower.
Oh.
What am I doing to catch them doing this?
Probably a
Where is finesse?
Survey, because it's
survey.
spot.
Yeah, survey.
Okay.
Nerve, cunning, intuition. Am I crazy? I have is this a cunning roll you said? Sorry.
It could be, well, here. It could be control, or I would say
Because I am a
hide,
magician,
because
so I'm
hide
a
says
master.
sneak. Sleight
I'm a
of hand.
master of misdirection, so
Well, okay.
I mean, sleight of hand is on hide, so
Yeah, so
I-
a hide roll.
okay. I've got two bold circles in there.
There you
So-
go.
so
And one
two-
of them is gilded, so
Only one?
use one special die and one regular die.
I thought when you
Roll the
said that when you said that it was bolded that's a gilded die.
No, the bolded are the bolded circles mean that you have
Proficiency.
proficiency in those. And then the diamond, if the diamond is filled in, that means you
Oh.
use a gilded die. for that.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a
Oop.
5, by the way.
I also rolled a 5.
Oh. Critical roll. What do you do when there's a tie?
We
Rollies!
go again.
Rollies.
Just one die?
Sure.
4.
1.
Oh. I would say, Tara, you feel Terry trying to get at something in
I
your
just like
pocket.
flip him over to the other shoulder. Nice try,
I'm gonna try again.
you little shit.
I got a 12 plus 1, 13.
Nice try.
I used that misdirection and I put it in my pocket.
Oh, there you go.
It's my
All right, it's not a long walk. Follow me. Milton kind of takes you all through the streets, just walking. He kind of veers to the right and walks down the
Milton,
street.
did you bring my vomit bucket? Because I'm sure you're about to show me something grotesque and awful.
There'll be things there. Don't worry.
Oh, sure.
You follow him for only 2 blocks, and then after another block, he kind of turns left. He walks through the door of a plain-looking brick building with a large black door, and leads you past a secretary as he kind of nods at them, through a waiting room and an office, and then through another door with stairs leading down into a brightly lit basement. You see another small reception office area, but there's no one sitting there, and there's a set of double doors behind it.
Great, a ground flat.
Milton pauses once you've all made it down the stairs before turning to all of you with an uneasy look and just says, "Prepare yourself in whatever way is necessary if you have a weak stomach. We are going to be viewing a body, and it is unpleasant."
I turn to leave again.
Everyone
Yeah,
just turns
no.
to look at Terry whenever Milton says that.
He retrieves a vial of smelling salts, seemingly for his own use, and leads you through the double doors into a bright white room covered in white porcelain tile and filled with specialized metal tables. This is the morgue.
I read it on the door. I fucking hate it here.
Yep.
I don't want to be here.
Let me tell you, the last time I was here, I found a lovely pocket watch.
I thought you were going to say
Oh.
something
Thank you,
nasty, but honestly, I'm
Josephine.
very, very pleased that it was a pickpocketing reference.
You see just one person in the room. They are dressed entirely in the kind of medical protective gear that a surgeon would wear, like mask, hair covering, smock, and gloves, the whole 9
Have
yards.
that. Why aren't we dressed like that? I want my booties.
You would vomit behind your mask and then it would be all over the place.
Well, that's why I want the rest of to cover everything else. I just tailored this waistcoat myself.
Aim away from your clothes.
Oh, I'm an expert at that.
Preferably not on any of us again.
It smells awful in
Yeah.
here.
Please.
I've got
It-
vomit right here.
It does smell very bad in here. Edgar, you would notice,
I'm going to sidle
especially
away
Sush-
from Terry.
Yeah. The person
got
behind the
here?
table nods at Milton and the rest of you, and they pinch the edges of a rubberized sheet that's draped over one of these tables. They look to all of you and say, "Are you ready?"
No.
Just go ahead and do it.
No,
Go on.
not ready.
Okay.
Don't listen to Terry. No, it's fine.
I'm lifting the sheet. And what you see when the body is uncovered is essentially a skeleton filled with all the proper organs and covered in a translucent pile of pink peach slime. It looks as though this person's skin has entirely melted off through some kind of chemical process. The internal organs, while impacted to a lesser degree, also seem to be sagging and stretching as if they might be the next to go at any moment.
Huh.
Ugh.
That's different.
You know, I've read about a lot of strange things, but not this.
Milton, where's the bucket?
I've seen insides,
right
but
there.
not while they're still inside.
Full cellular degradation, working from the exterior inwards. it
Oh, I
looks
love when you speak science to me.
Yes, it's quite strange.
I vomit again.
They do keep a bucket by one of the tables off to the side for you.
Where was
It's
this
got
found?
it's got my lunch in it now. Or breakfast,
Well,
what
this
time
man
is it?
was found in his own apartment. We don't know that much about him except that he worked up in the steel at Galvanica Engineering Works. Some of you would know where
Wait.
that is, but Milton would turn and confirm. That
Wait.
is a business owned by EONS, for those of you who...
I invoke I know a guy.
Oh, okay.
What's his
Oh,
name?
wait, I have to read it to remember what this means. Ask the
once per
GM.
assignment, ask the GM who you know. Oh, this is once per assignment? Does that count for the whole one shot?
Yes.
Okay, then fuck that. Never mind. Thought it was something I could use per encounter.
Galvan.
Oh, I gotcha.
Never mind.
Well, it's just a one shot, so,
Okay.
you know, if you need to.
Might as well use it.
Alas, poor Yorick!
Works at Galvanica, but he was found at home.
Yes, very strange. We don't really know. We don't really know much more about him. We don't know what area of Galvanica he would have been working in. Not sure.
Ugh.
Do we know anything else about him other than he has no skin?
Well, no.
I mean, honestly, this seems like an EONS problem.
Did he have...
Do they know?
Are you telling me he didn't have a bloody flat? You said a hamburger at his home.
Well, he had an apartment. I think at this point the doctor,
Was it
whoever
not
they are,
least... Oh, it doesn't matter.
covers that up.
I've seen it. It's burned into my retinas.
Would you just step outside? Maybe the lack of smell will help.
No! I can still see it in there.
The Milton kind of says, I mean, he had a place in the South Soffit.
Is he not got a landlady? Or a governor?
Probably. I suppose we could talk to that person.
Oh, for fuck's sake, you haven't done it already!
Well, we just found it this morning.
You scooped this poor bastard up with a bloody ladle or a spatula or something. You carried him here and you didn't bother to talk to anybody where he... Good God, we're surrounded by fucking morons.
I mean, we had to keep it out of the radar of the periphery. We don't want them...
Yes.
They
Then
just get in the way,
Then
really
who
what it
reported the
is.
body? Or what's left of it?
One of the neighbors down the hall smelled an odd smell.
Right.
You don't
Do
say.
Eons know that one of their own has been compromised?
We don't know if he had a shift between when he expired and now, possibly? Because he certainly wouldn't have shown up for it, but we don't really know.
Oh, what a slacker, honestly.
Not showing up for a shift?
even when you're dead.
And you
Milton
shouldn't-
just kind of looks at you like,
Capitalism is a prison. You shut your fucking mouth.
yes, yes.
Oh wait, you were being sarcastic, weren't you?
Yes, Terry. Yes, I was.
I'm getting better at that.
Good job. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Oh no, I'm good.
So,
Anything else there, like, apart from obviously not having skin, that you can tell us about the body?
Milton pulls out what you would all know as a bleed detector and just kind of holds it out, and it starts kind of flickering and flashing next to the body. Clearly something is happening with this one. I mean, EONS we already knew, but it would be weird. But, I mean, well, something's going on.
I'm going to pull out a little test tube from my coat and peel back the rubber sheet and take a small sample of the pink goo.
Okay.
August
Put it in
also
your
had the
pocket.
bleed detector out. You know,
Yeah.
like you do.
Yep. You're like,
Yes,
oh, I
keep
already
test
knew.
tubes in my pocket.
Yeah.
Of course I do.
Yeah, August is like, I could have told you that if you had just asked.
Oh, right. You're way ahead of me there, August. Sorry.
Looks
As-
at
As per usual.
Terry looks at August, then at Josephine, and then at Edgar. But looks between the three of them.
What?
I think never mind. We left afternoon tea for this.
Yes. Yes, we did. But
All
are
right.
you really that hungry anymore?
What about no? I've just lost everything that I've eaten, so actually yes. Anyway, what about the scene of the crime? The whatever the fucking hell happened to this poor bastard?
Well, we don't know where he worked or if it was even tied. I mean, we know it was, the engineering works, Galvanica Engineering Works,
His
but we don't know what
bathroom.
building.
His bathroom. Where did you spatula this pile of scrambled eggs and gravy out?
Yes, in the floor of his shower.
Where?
In the South Soffit. Do we have an
yes.
address?
Give the address,
Yes.
please.
Here's the address to his apartment.
Thank you.
Just for a bit of context, the water was boiling on the stove. We did turn that off, of course.
Oh wow.
He was found
And-
like this and the water was still boiling.
Yes, it seemed perhaps he was trying to
Must
make
have been a
some tea or
rapid-
something.
Rapid degradation then.
Exceptionally rapid.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't take that long for water to reach its boiling point.
Hmm.
What was it an electric? Was it electricity?
No, just a wood stove.
Wood stove. All right.
We should check it out. I very much doubt he was exposed to anything unusual at his home, but maybe we can find out what he was working on at Galvanica.
Yes, that's a good point. We do know where the Galvanica offices are as well, if you wanted to go there also, but could be tricky. There will be people there, you know.
Well,
You're so people-phobic.
perhaps if my wrist wrap was removed, I would be able to assist with that.
Oh, you want me to take that off for you? It's easy. Should just
No,
not.
I mean metaphorical wrist wrap. I was given a shame, no more stealing for a week.
Since when has that ever stopped you?
All right. We need answers to this. Go find whatever. Do whatever you need to do.
Milton, further
Thank you,
question.
Milty.
Let's just be careful.
Milton, further
Here's
question.
the address. Yes.
Which company provides the water for that area?
Why, I
You
don't
said he
know, I
died.
think-
You said you found him in a shower.
Yes.
Hmm.
I mean, I suppose it's probably just piped in from the sea and heated.
Rapid degradation. I wonder if he was exposed to something that then reacted with water.
Possibly. That's what I was thinking. But possibly something
Yeah.
that was already in the water. Perhaps something flesh-eating.
Well, Edgar, maybe
Harris-
you and I can go check out Galvanica while the others check out the apartment.
We'll have to. We won't be welcomed by eons. I wonder if we should use the fact that we were the ones that discovered the body means that we know something's going wrong there. They don't necessarily yet.
Alternatively, I could just slip in.
Yeah, we could do both, you know.
I
Wait,
mean,
you splitting up? You're leaving me with those two? Josephine, you're cool. Tara's mean to me.
I'm not mean to you.
She's mean to you because she lifts you up and carries you around like a toddler.
I don't like that.
Hey, I thought you were all about the
I don't mind
others.
being thrown around every once in a while.
Ugh.
Why don't we all go to the apartment first, see what clues we can gather before EONS find
Grand.
that he's missing?
All right, apartment first.
Maybe he left some notes from work.
Way ahead of you. Out the door. You just hear like fading, gagging down the hallway.
All right. You head off to this apartment. Milton gives you the address and lets you find it yourselves. It's a pretty plain building. It's a big building with lots of apartments in it. Some sort of maybe a similar to a boarding house or something, but just like very small, kind of neat but simple apartments. And as you go into the apartment that was his, you see there's a lady down the hall that's kind of keeping an eye out. Maybe a nosy neighbor of some kind. And there's also, as you go in, there's that similar smell as in this apartment, despite the body having been removed. And you see the pot on the stove that had the water boiling that's now been put out. There's a small sitting room with like one chair and a table. There's a bathroom and there's a bedroom.
So are we able to kind of determine that he likely just came home from work, put on some tea,
Yeah.
went
Yeah,
to shower?
we do some BBC's Sherlock shit. All of us trying to outnut each other.
I'll say we could do some survey rolls. We could do focus
check?
rolls.
Let's do survey because I've got a gilded die in that.
What about
There you go. Yes, if you want to roll sense, if you're looking to detect like strange things.
I'm going to survey the bathroom specifically where there's still slime traces.
Yes.
Yeah,
Still little bits of-
I'm probably gonna, against my better judgment, against the better judgment of my stomach, go to the bathroom as well.
I'm checking for anything hidden, loose floorboards, things behind anything on the walls, in cupboards, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Could you explain how gilded die work?
Yes. So on your character sheet, you'll use however many circles you have filled in or bolded for whatever roll you're making. If the roll that you're making has a filled in diamond next to it, you replace one of your dice with the gilded die. If you choose to take the roll on the gilded die, you can get a drive back. You can also use any drive you may have. The max drive will be filled in for the area. So like for survey, focus, and sense, it'll be any drives that you might have from intuition. And you can use them to add dice to improve your chances of rolling well.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 5 on my survey then.
Okay.
I did
I
as
got a-
well with regular
I got
serve.
6 on my sense.
A 6 on your sense. Okay. Excellent.
I got a 9.
What did you get on it's like individual dice.
Yeah, 6 and a 3.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, a
6
6
is
is
the
great.
highest. And that's...
You don't add them together, Cedar.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, fuck me then. 6.
But 6 is great. 6 is great.
I read
Yeah,
the 2? Okay.
I got a 5 on surveying the bathroom.
Okay.
um,
We got good rolls.
We know
got
the
good rolls.
shit out of this apartment.
Yeah, we do.
No kidding.
We find
Really?
everything,
have
including
a
the
shit,
guy's
right?
panties. Like, we know everything about this guy.
He did have a shit before he expired. Doesn't flush.
Okay.
Disgusting.
Thank you for that information, Bear. That
Ain't-
was crucial.
Ain't that just like a man?
I am going to say, let's see, who should we start with? We'll start with our mixed successes. That was Tara got a mixed success. Where were
Yeah, I
you
got
looking?
a 5 in the living room area.
Okay. Joe was looking for like hidden spots. You also got a mixed success. And Edgar got a mixed success in the bathroom, right?
I did. I'm examining where the water is, water and the pink slime are interacting. See if I
Okay.
can discern anything.
As you're kind of okay, so we'll go through each room. First, in the living room, Kara, you are looking around the living room. There's not a lot in here. Whatever this guy does, he doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem like he's been paid very well.
Ugh.
He's a laborer. You don't know how much he knows. Maybe not a lot. But he's in here. This like living room has a couple of books that are a little bit like dirty books. And he's got
I want those.
Stealing those.
For reasons.
and you find next to his chair, it's a pretty simple chair, but you see this vial in here of what's called adjuvant. It's kind of a green liquid. It is something that EONS makes that they use to try to combat the negative effects of bleed.
So like he was maybe exposed before.
Yes.
Okay.
And so you find that in there. Not much else, really. You know, you found the dirty books or whatever. In the kitchen, or in this area, looking for like hidden spots and stuff. Joe, you find kind of a coffee can that has some stashed money in it. Maybe he was looking to save up for a better place or a better situation. You also find a set of keys that look like maybe they're keys that go to, like, not his house. They don't seem to be like apartment keys. And there is a metal tag on them that just says B13. And then you also in the bathroom, like Edgar, as you're kind of looking through here and you're kind of investigating like whether or not the water had anything to do with this, you don't necessarily think that the water had something in it that caused this. But maybe something that was going on with him, the water just like made it happen faster just because he was like popped in the shower. But something must have been happening to him, just like comparing the pink goo with like and seeing how it reacts to the water. It doesn't seem to like affect it anymore. And if you touch the water, like it doesn't do anything. But as you're all kind of, the three of you are looking at some of this stuff, I need all three of you to take one mark in bleed, because this apartment is full of it. And that is something that August would notice on that 6 sense roll.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
is-
August has like all of his gear basically out, other than maybe his ghost blade.
Yeah.
He's got a bleed detector. Well, he doesn't have his weapon. He's not gonna shoot anybody.
Yeah.
But like
There
he's
you
got
go.
his
Yet.
bleed containment vial, got like his detector and an arcane text like in one hand. He's got it like open while he's detecting. And then he also has a ward and occult supplies. So like all of that, he's just like holding a bunch
Yeah.
of shit.
You've got like a handful of stuff out. Your bleed detector, every time you like walk through the kitchen and towards the bathroom, there's like a strong concentration of bleed on the bed in the bedroom. Like anywhere this guy would have sat still for a long period of time. Also, Terry, because you're in the bathroom as well, you see like this pink, they're the remnants of this pink goo. It has kind of a, I mean, the smell you've all smelled, but there's a, like, as you're looking at it, because you got a full success, there's like a weird glow about it that, if you catch it in the right light, it's like, it looks like metal that's been heated slightly. Like that's the way the glow happens. But it only happens when Edgar turns the water on to see what's happening.
Hold on, do that again.
Do what?
The water. Turn it on again.
Turn the water on.
Turn it off. Turn it on. Off. On.
It's already on.
Look.
What are
And
What
at
what
that
you, what are you
point,
getting at?
Look at where I'm pointing, Edgar.
Yes,
Look at where I'm
looking.
pointing.
What are you,
at
what
that
can
point,
see?
you notice it as well. Terry points it
Oh.
out. And
Okay,
it
turn it off
has,
again.
it's
What is
weird. It
that?
looks like heated metal when the water hits it.
Do you have a sample kit?
Yeah, of course I do.
An empty one in the various files that you carry around your fucking
I
pocket.
will take. I'll try and get a sample of that. Does it seem like sort of powdered? Examining it, does it look like powdered metal or something?
Almost like and like, you know that he works in this engineering works. EONS has all sorts of things at their disposal, and it seems like perhaps whatever he does might be working with metal, but you're not sure to what degree. But it does seem like there's like flecks of something in or on the material, like whatever used to be skin, is there.
In theory,
Well spotted, Terry.
whatever he was exposed to, obviously, hitched a ride with the water and increased the surface area coverage,
Yeah.
and then possibly caused a reaction, or exacerbated a reaction.
It looks like whatever he was trying to wash something off.
I don't know, the long day at work, I'm sure, but what could he be working with? What are they doing down there?
I'm gonna say also, just adding this to the mix, because August is walking around, kind of going room to room with all this gear. The shower head is a very shiny metal that looks unfamiliar, and it seems almost like a source of bleed. So maybe not the water, but the shower head definitely has something about it that is strange.
So August just like walking in is like, what's up with the shower head? Why is it shiny like that?
It's
And
not exactly
why
trademark
is there
in plumbing,
why is
is
there
it?
so much bleed coming from it?
I don't know. Do these flecks look like the same metal? Do you think?
I don't know, Emily. So
As you're looking at it, they seem like a similar, very shiny color, but when when you see them in with the skin, there's like a weird glow about them, like they've been heated somehow.
Seems well. I would like to examine the shower head a bit closer to see whether or not it's been recently replaced.
just don't touch it.
I won't. I'm not going to bloody touch it.
You
Well,
touch it.
What do you think I'm going to lick it?
Just
That was one time. Don't answer that. That was one time. Don't answer that.
Continuing on that like success roll, as you're still in here
Terry
looking at the same
takes
stuff.
their monocle out of their pocket and like fixes it to their.
Yeah, it does look like this is new. Whatever it is, this is new.
This has been
The
recently.
shower head
replaced.
is new.
This has been recently replaced, otherwise, possibly an assassination attempt. Well, success. You see it right there, very recently replaced. It's barely even catching on the edge of it, of the rig.
Or it could simply be a layman that didn't understand what he was working with.
Unlikely. An engineer, a metal worker.
It's
Sure.
likely he knew that he was exposed, though, because I found this and I showed them the little vial of the. How do you pronounce that? Adjuvant. There we go.
Yes.
Ooh, let me have a look at that.
What would August know about the adjuvants?
Yeah.
Since
I
I do
think-
have previous knowledge.
Yeah, both August and Edgar probably have some knowledge of this. You would know that this is some sort of experimental antidote. It doesn't always to work.
This looks like EONS knew that there was some risks to their workers.
I mean, I feel like that's probably pretty evident. Everything
Well-
we've seen to this point.
Go.
But the
go.
shower head and all, it's not adding up.
The shower head doesn't seem like it would be related to anything that EONS were doing.
Then why is it
That's what I-
bleeding?
Yes, I don't understand that unless it's. Why would they fit a special shower head in their staff's homes? That doesn't make sense.
Frequent exposure, perhaps to build immunity?
One way to get rid of them when they're no longer useful.
There is that. But
That's
what
a
a
good
strange
point.
way of assassinating somebody. You think that they would just shoot them instead of just
Can we,
creepily melting them in their bathroom while they're naked.
would the workers in this place have like a uniform, like a specific uniform?
Where are his clothes? Yes, good question. Where are his clothes?
Possibly, you would see. Well, the clothes would be in the bathroom. They're just typical, like kind of brown pants, some kind of leather suspenders. Brown boots were by the front door, and just like a kind of cream-colored shirt that looks like sweat stained, and there would be a little bit of bleed on that. But
I
I
am-
think maybe.
Nothing-
I'm examining
Nothing
those.
that would be like specific to his place of work.
If
Nothing that we could use to potentially pose as an employee.
Perhaps identify.
Oh, wait. Don't. These could be contaminated with
not
whatever
sure.
caused.
Well, yeah, of course, but you know,
Closet.
you
Wait,
would
Joe's
get-
already probably been in there. Joe.
If they have protective gear of some kind, maybe that would be at the place of work.
A locker room.
Did you call me?
Oh, I assumed.
Sorry,
that
I
you
was
had already
reading
been
this
through
wonderful book.
his- I assumed that you had already been through his clothing.
Well, no, why would you think that?
Panty raid.
Look, that was one time
Uh,
that you knew about.
hearing about a wonderful book, August like grabs it out of Joe's hand and is like, "Oh,
Hey.
pornography! I see."
I was just at the good part.
Everybody comes. That's sorry.
well, I would hope so. Otherwise, what's the point?
Spoilers. Maybe they didn't.
Unless-
Maybe
unless
it's an
you're not into-
edging thing.
Unless you're not into that.
We just killed Emily.
Jeez.
All right, but in examining the clothes based off that previous sense roll, anything? I'm not actually touching them. Just
I mean, the clothes don't seem as like
is there any
soaked
residue?
with bleed as anything else, except maybe just whatever contact it got from the guy.
I'm looking for specifically, if I'm being more, looking for metallic powdery residues that may
Oh, okay.
coincide with what we see upon the gooey flesh and possibly the shower head.
And the powder had bleed to it as well, correct?
Yes.
So I would definitely have my detector and be helping Terry with that.
I'm gonna get waxed paper bag out of my kit and put it over the shower head.
Yeah.
And then,
There you go.
You'll need a wrench.
Tara, could you just?
Well, you probably want to.
Separate.
Well, you probably want to turn the water off, don't you? Otherwise, well,
No, just separate it from the tap at the bottom end of the hose.
I open an umbrella. No, I don't. I'm just kidding.
We just can't touch the shower head itself.
Well, obviously, but modern plumbing being what it is,
You're able to pull that off, no problem.
Ah, okay.
does it have a maker's mark?
Tara like flexes and does the whole like yoink.
If you rip a seam, I'm not mending that again.
You could have just twisted it.
Just like
What's the fun in that?
I'm just saying.
Further investigation of this bathroom, you'd find an old shower head of some kind that matches the piping under the sink.
Okay.
Seems like a normal shower head.
We'll just
we find
screw
any
that one back
paper?
into place.
It is the same
You can't.
shape
It's broken.
and size as the other one.
That is a good idea, Joe. If we can restore the shower to looking like normal, I'll hold on to the.
It's
the
like
big
I've
one.
done this
Can.
before, darling.
Whether or not you can depends on how much of the pipe Tara just tore out of the wall.
Well, she
in
just
addition-
pulled the threads, so I don't think anybody's going to come and investigate and turn on the water like us.
People have people investigating and whatnot. Did anybody peep the peeping Tom downstairs? The gossip.
Oh, absolutely. She was my next stop.
Mm.
If EONS come by here looking for their employee, really want them to tell them about that we were investigating.
Well, they're going to find out.
Darling, you know
Okay.
how silver my tongue is.
Yes.
Tara just gets a very confused look upon their face.
August takes the
What does that
porn that he
idiot-
got
what does
from
that
Joe,
idiom
and it's
have-
like, right here, just read this part and you'll understand.
What does this idiom have to do with? Oh,
See, I can do that myself. I don't need another person.
I had no idea that you were into that, Edgar.
Did we find any paperwork or
Couple
anything like that
artifacts.
when we were looking around?
Yeah, that
Nope.
was going to be my
Yeah.
next question. Was like, did you have
No
a or
paperwork,
anything?
just cash in that can. That's it.
What
Any
cash?
identification saying what this guy's name is?
No, but I mean the people down the hall might know who he is.
His name's
Anybody
probably
else?
Guy.
Any
Find it a
photos?
bit weird that there's like nothing in here. It's like he is here but not here.
I mean,
Could be a business map.
he obviously was a man of reading.
Sure.
I agree. This is
Were there any
wonderful.
photos?
Edgar, we should watch this or read this together.
Oh, really?
Are you going to take him over to the talkies next?
Maybe.
But no, are there any photographs or anything?
Nope.
I check under the mattress.
Nothing.
Pillows.
Do you think I'm an amateur?
No, I'm just satisfying. I just wanted to see what his thread count was, and I very neatly tuck in the sheets like a hotel. Like,
Do you think he really had this few personal effects, or maybe someone has already removed? Why
This
would they leave the shower head and the cat?
Did we find
People
any
that didn't
evidence of
know
somebody
they were
else being here besides the people that found him?
Nope.
Did
I mean,
Milton come
we-
with us?
No, he lets you
Okay.
go on your.
Joe.
It's pretty obvious that they don't have a lot of money here, so maybe he just couldn't
Well, no,
afford
Joe's taken it.
massive things.
But Joe, does the lock look like it's been that it's met a person named Jimmy recently?
I checked the lock.
Doesn't look like it.
Right.
Well, I need to get these samples back to the lab.
Right. I check along the top of the doorway just for giggles.
Oh. Think you find anything up there either? Maybe just a copy of his apartment key.
All right, let's just check
Okay.
what we've got. I've got a sample of pink slime from the corpse. I've got sample with metallic flecks from the bathroom. We've got this shower head. We think the metallic flecks may have come from there. What else did we discover?
Shower head.
Porn.
Yeah.
Porn.
Yeah, I've got that. Did somebody said they found keys?
Oh, yes, I have keys.
And we found
They
porn.
have
B13?
B13 on them, which could be
I checked
a
the door.
locker
What's it say?
at the street.
I'm gonna.
It's
I'd be willing
the
to bet that's a
door.
locker.
The door of this apartment says 27.
So
It's gonna
Base.
be their
Locker at
locker
work?
Galvanica.
Yes.
One of us could slip in and get protective clothing.
Who would do that?
Are they flirting?
Ask me nicely.
They're flirting.
Yes.
I mean,
well, at least one of them is.
whatever he was storing in the locker is probably contaminated similarly. Wait, unless it was just the shower head that was the issue.
That's what I was wondering initially. Why the shower head was replaced?
Yeah, that's
Unless he replaced it, and it's just a situational thing, wrong place, wrong time, where he picked this shower head up in a place where it was meant possibly for somebody else, or just meant to. Is it something? Do they work in plumbing? Where he
Does his
don't-
old shower
No
head
idea.
look like damaged in any way?
yes, is it corroded?
To be
Does it have
replaced?
run water through it? I turned it on again.
It looks.
How's the water pressure through that head?
It looks like exactly the same shape and size as the new shower head,
How's
but
the
it's
water
a
run?
different material.
Like,
But it doesn't
obviously
seem
a different material, though.
Yeah, obviously a different material.
Less shiny.
When the water runs
Just like iron.
on the goop, is there any reaction from with the old shower head upon it?
Nope.
Well,
It's
there's your
just-
answer, Edgar.
Hmm.
Definitely from from the shower head itself.
I'm
Is
gonna-
how's the water pressure? Sorry.
Weak.
No. All right. Well, that's the reason why he's.
What?
I've turned it off.
I'm gonna-
So at the
here-
beginning of all this, you said something about the company makes a special alloy. Does that sound like this? Like would describe this shower head?
Chrome bleeds.
Probably.
What were you going?
Although it's an experimental thing, you might have some knowledge of it. That they're messing with that kind of thing, but
It's
you don't know
Ghost
exactly.
Rock.
Does the bleedy shower head look like it's been kind of like, from looking in the back, does it look like it's been kind of like slightly amateurly cast off the old one?
Mm.
It sure does.
There's some. Look at the flashing on the edge there. They've literally made a copy of the old shower head in this new material.
I've seen apprentices cast. that.
Why? Why would they do that? Why would they?
What an elaborate way to kill somebody.
Well, clearly it wasn't this poor fella.
Perhaps it's something. Well, he was.
It does look.
Oh, that he matured. Perhaps he made it from scraps at work.
I
There's a possibility.
suppose.
I'm
Certainly a
just going to
possibility.
throw this out there, but clearly this was an assassination attempt. A successful one at that, like you said.
Indeed.
From my history, most men don't notice such things when things are changed around them. So if a dull
fair.
shower head was replaced with a shiny one,
Yes. All right. I wouldn't notice.
Would notice.
I know, darling.
I notice everything. In fact, I feel like I'm going to vomit again because that was disgusting. Actually, I'm still quite hungry. Do you mind if we grab a sandwich or something on the way?
I know
Sorry,
this
will you
lovely-
return?
No, we've got
Sorry.
to talk to the neighbour.
I'll talk
Well,
to the neighbor.
Joe does.
Let's talk to her too.
Okay, fine. We can go talk to her.
All right.
Let me know if you need somebody to be strong.
She was like a little old lady, right? Like a little
yeah,
lady
or it was
gossip?
like just another like kind of older lady, 45, 50.
Can it be that
Um,
can it be that angry Korean landlord lady with the cigarette and the shower poof and the dressing gown?
I'll be sure to summon you should we need a hip broken.
Are you saying that? Are you
I
saying
feel
that
like
I'm
if I
wrong?
tried to do that, it would be offensive.
Terry,
no, it's just-
you're so skinny that if you turn sideways and stick your tongue out, you look like a zipper.
I think I should be insulted.
Okay, so
Oh.
Carrie and Joe are heading down to talk to the neighbor while everyone packs up. Is that right?
Mhm.
Edgar, get me a sandwich from the calf, please. Cucumbers, no crusts, please.
Oh gosh.
What cat?
You head down.
Please. Please.
You
Please.
head down to the neighbor. She's still kind of peeking out, but as soon as she sees you heading towards her, she goes inside her room and shuts the door.
Well.
The hard way then.
Oh, please. Actually, no, I have been kicked in the shin by many an angry little old lady. Don't underestimate her.
Posture check, everybody.
No! My posture is quite perfect.
And a hydrate.
Damn it, Alyssa.
People trying to make sure we take care of ourselves.
I just knock on the door.
There's a pause. And then it opens just a crack, and you see the like chain lock is there, and it just like opens an inch. Yes.
Couldn't help but notice. Were you the one that reported your neighbor missing or the strange smell from his apartment?
Michael. Yes. Very weird smell.
I literally have a little notebook.
Michael Matthews, that's his name.
Right.
2 first names. Terry Thomas. Pleased to meet you.
Ah, interesting.
Did you happen to hear anything in the last few days of in his apartment when he would be at work?
No?
No people that don't belong coming by other than us, obviously.
Nope, no one's ever in there. Sometimes he goes down to Red Lamp.
Don't we all, darling?
What's red?
Or if you've got the money. It's the red light district.
Speaking of
Basically.
money, did he happen to pay his rent on time?
As far as I know. Pretty much kept to himself. Kind of quiet young man.
He said he was rarely there. He was usually
Whistled a
never-
lot, though.
Bloody hate whistlers.
Yes, he wasn't there very often. Actually, the past couple of days especially, he was working longer shifts. Seemed like. Gone for long periods of time. This past week.
Did he ever bring anybody home?
No. I always thought he was rather lonely, but he didn't seem upset about it, so.
Boring. Right. Has anybody else come to question you about any of this?
No. Saw some people carry him away. Terrible smell. Don't know
Awful
how
smell.
long he's been in there.
Awful
Maybe a
smell.
day or two.
Disgusting. Really horrible.
Yeah.
Turns my stomach.
It's like tinny, you know, like metallic. Terrible. But it's mostly gone now.
Mostly.
Mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Did you happen to notice movement in his apartment and there was no whistling?
No, I don't think so.
Never mind. Might be a bit weird. Never mind.
Just ask it. It's already weird enough.
Well, yeah, I feel like it's a bit too inappropriate for us to have a look at a bathroom.
Oh.
No,
What?
I think that's a lovely
Fine.
idea, actually.
Do you have a toilet? I'm sorry.
Oh, shit. Scrambles to unlock the doors like,
I'm-
to the left.
I'm so sorry. He's they're very weakly stomached.
I got from right
Go.
down the hall to the left.
Don't throw up on my door. It's not a nice place, but it's mine all the same.
I
Sort of grumpy.
as I hurry down the hallway, I'm like,
Seems laid out about the same. There's
how
a
many
bathroom
cats
in
does she
here.
have?
2.
Yay! Are they cute?
Of course.
Are they fat? Is there one fat
no.
one and one like lanky one?
Neither are fat, but she probably doesn't have that much money.
I pause as I go by them, and I'm just like, oh, later.
The bathroom in this apartment
I lock
seems
my
about the
stuff in the
same. Kind of basic, fixtures and things like that. But the shower head
Throw open the
looks
shower curtain.
iron, like kind of just plain, not shiny. Looks same as the other plain one.
Would they have like a property manager on site?
Oh no. If you ask that, no, he lives up in one of them bigger fancy places.
Oh.
Hey, landowners! All landlords are bastards.
Yes.
I do apologize for my companion. They
Don't make a mess in there.
have a very weak constitution.
Seriously.
I think it was
I'm-
the smell
I'm
of
going through
the
everything in there.
baby powder.
She doesn't have a lot. She has one little bar of kind of nice smelling soap. It seems like maybe she doesn't use it all the time, but on occasion she must save it.
I place it very gently back.
And
I
her
scoop the litter box
showers,
for her while I'm in there.
her shower's pretty plain. No shiny fixtures, nothing like that.
No bleed.
Nope, doesn't seem like it.
Trying to
I
decide
mean,
if this is a
the-
moment where I
the
decide if I have the
detector
bleed
is-
detector or not.
Yeah, the detector is with me, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if I would have one in my gear or not. Probably not.
Nope.
I don't feel woozy and nothing shiny. Okay.
Yeah.
I stop and I look at the toilet and I think, well, I'm here.
Just walking.
I was
their
feeling a little
territory.
queasy. I would feel better now. I have more room for lunch.
Jesus Christ, Cedar.
I was feeling queasy. I'm sorry, because the baby powder really was a bit more. Anyway, I leave it
Yes.
cleaner than when I left, than when I went in.
Okay, there you go. She looks in after you when you come out and it's like, oh, all right.
I slip
Now
her a
get
bank-
out of my apartment.
I give her a
Go,
bank
go.
note.
Thank you for your time.
Can I pet your cats? I'm already like crouched in the back of her couch, like petting her cat, like hand over her cat.
I guess.
Terry?
Oh, I love you so much. Oh, you're such a good kitty.
Terry,
What? Oh, right.
have
Business.
things to
I hop
do.
off the couch.
All right.
Thank you, Miss
Edna.
Edna. Mode. We must dash.
All right. Well, leave. Okay.
I do leave.
He was a nice, quiet boy. He didn't make much of a ruckus, and I would, if you figure out what happened.
Of course. I'll leave our professional address behind.
We have
If
one.
she, yeah, the
Yeah,
lighthouse.
the lighthouse.
If she thinks of anything else or anything else weird happens in the interim,
Oh, all right.
just
Sure.
in case, feel free to send a post or come by. Milton is our doorman.
All right. And she slams the door behind you as you walk out.
Lovely
like,
lady. I hope I'm
Lovely
that cool
lady.
when
I
I'm
really
old.
I really do enjoy. Yes, I really do. I really did enjoy her. I hope I have her. I hope I have such wonderful cats when I'm older too, as well. She had a very nice lavender scented soap.
I hate lavender.
I take your face and I put it near my face where I sniffed it. I'm like, smell that.
I hate lavender.
Oh, you hate lavender?
Edgar's
Sorry.
coming out of apartment 27.
Our faces are like
Right.
this. Don't you smell it? Don't you smell it?
I
It's
smell
lavender.
it.
It smells fine.
Oh, you want to smell it? I grab your
Yeah,
head.
you're like down the hall and you can smell the lavender.
I go down and I grab your head. Oh, you smell it?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Sorry, I messed up your hand.
I think
Your part.
I think we're done in there.
I think we're done with the neighbor too. She didn't see anything or hear anything suspicious. She has our address. Should anything happen in the meanwhile?
The bathroom looks completely normal. Shower head doesn't look like being replaced lately, so it's obviously not a whole building thing that was designated by the landlord.
Conceivable the poor sod replaced the showerhead himself.
I still think
It's
that
entirely
was
I
possible.
wonder
more likely.
why.
Possibly even made it himself. Well, you saw the pressure wasn't exactly stunning.
But to make it from a cast of the one that's existing, that doesn't help the pressure.
Well, no,
Yeah.
because over time it can deteriorate. Things
Well,
build
yes, of
up, and there's
course.
only so many times you can soak something in vinegar before it actually doesn't work anymore.
Is
Don't
it
ask me.
possible that he was testing that?
We're talking and walking.
Yeah, is it possible that he was testing long-term exposure to bleed with this?
I feel as if a scientist of such a case would have notes upon it. Did you find any notes?
No.
It doesn't
No.
seem like he was testing it. Maybe they were testing on him.
I find that more.
Or maybe he was just very poor and
Cast
thought
it
that he
himself out of
could
scraps.
replace a poorly performing showerhead with this
Also-
alloy he happened to be working with at the office.
On a similar note, perhaps they offered him some sort of monetary incentive to test this.
This is EONS we're talking about.
Here, try our product. We'll pay you, and you'll get the product for free. Sponsorship.
Well, side effects may.
Did the neighbour say anything about other visitors?
No.
No. No strangers, no visitors, no
He frequented
oddities.
the Red Lamp.
I think we should go there, see if we can find anything more about Mr. Matthews.
He was a whistler.
This sounds more and more like it might have been a self-inflicted tragedy.
I'm starting to lean that way as well, but
Horrible accident. But
it brings the
also
question of why would such metal exist?
Eons.
Well, yes,
To find
of
that out,
course.
we're going to have to investigate EONS, and they are going to not welcome our presence.
If this turns
So,
into some sort
they
of
have to see
Andromeda
us
in spring,
first.
I'm going to be very upset.
That's true. Well, I'm going to have a look at this alloy and see what we can discover in the lab.
Cucumber
At
sandwiches.
least it's safe. You're thinking about food already.
I'm starving.
They've been thinking of food since they first threw up.
I think they were thinking about food even before that. To be fair.
To be completely fair, on top of your fairness, I am always thinking about food. Yes,
Didn't you steal all the crumpets?
it's my secret. Oh, I did! And I.
With that,
So
we'll
we go
have-
back to the
so
lab.
You go back to the lab, and is it time already to take a break or no? I'm looking at the. We've been up for 1:45, 1 hour 45.
Well, we
Waiting
also
for an hour and a
were-
half.
we also had like 15, 20 minutes of intro
It's true.
of us not being on stream.
That's true.
I mean, I'm good either.
Well, let's take a break now because it's a good time in the story. We'll
Mhm.
take a
Like
break.
it.
We'll use the restroom, grab snacks, whatever you need to do, and we'll be back. We'll be back shortly with the rest of this.
We'll be back. Hello, we're back.
Why are we
Hello.
yelling? Hi! Ah!
Oh no.
The panic.
Gay and otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Anyways,
What are we doing,
All
Abby?
right. So, well, first you said you're going back to the lab to take a look at stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm
so...
definitely not going to get myself in the way of everything Eddie's trying to do.
August would probably go straight to the library again, but differently focused.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
High or low, Edgar and August, then?
I'm
You
gonna
which
say
one's
low.
high, which one's low?
gonna say August is low.
Okay. Edgar's high then. Alright,
Mhm.
give me a sec. I follow along with Edgar.
Ah. Okay.
Damn it.
Well, I'm going to the lab to examine this shower head made of a strange alloy and find out what the fuck is up with that.
You open the door and I'm already in there touching everything.
Very appropriate use of
Terry, please.
critical role terminology.
I'm touching
Okay.
everything. Your lab is
yeah.
the laboratory is so disorganized.
See, I tried to tell him that,
It's,
but
like,
then
so
he's
clean.
like, it's in,
Yeah.
the periodic table, not
I will
alphabetical.
I've
Fix
got
it later.
chill. I've got
You
gloves
can-
on, and I
you
hold in my
can
hands, and
roll
it's just my fingerless
focus.
gloves. I've got gloves on.
Right.
My fingertips burned beyond all recognition.
Now that we're back in the lighthouse, Edgar pulls off his leather gloves and like his fingers are like stained red with chemicals.
Yep.
I'm gonna carefully get the shower head out, take a scalpel, scrape a little bit of the alloy off on the desktop, and
We're using a
start.
scalpel. All right.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah, not my fingernails. And basically start a whole series of tests to try to try to break down the makeup of this thing.
I'm doing the one that involves the most fire.
I'm reading porn aloud for everyone.
Right.
Sorry, could you read that bit? Sorry, could you read that bit again? I've got my monocle and it's like extended.
Edgar, go ahead and make a focus roll.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a drive to give myself an extra die.
Okay.
Um,
And
I
I
would
think
also
one of yours is gilded also, right?
It is, and I forgot to roll it, but I'm gonna run with that because I've rolled a 6.
Oh, great.
So which was So I have
Affy, Liz
spent.
thought your porn joke was very funny.
Thanks, Liz.
I don't know if you can hear her cackling in the background, but
So you start to inspect this shower head. You're running tests on it. And you find a couple of things. First, the alloy is very hard and very shiny. I don't know if this world has anything like
chrome.
surgical steel or chrome or something, but we'll say it looks a lot like
If it's
that.
based Victorian, then yes.
Yeah. If not, it does now because you make the rules.
I don't know.
Tiniest
science,
Damascus
really.
steel.
It does give off a lot of bleed. You don't necessarily know what from, but just from looking at this, I think running a couple tests, this metal seems to be infused with bleed. It's like mixed in. You would also think, just from having like such a close examination of this, that you are probably correct, that this guy probably cast this himself. He
Oh, yeah.
knows how to use the materials and apparently used them, whether anyone knew about it or not. So yeah, that's kind of what you get from this.
Michael Matthews, you were a bloody idiot.
Yeah.
Edgar, what's bleed?
Bleed is the residue of things from beyond the flare.
And what's the flare?
The flare is the barrier between our world and elsewhere.
And what's elsewhere?
I really wish I knew.
And how come there are no cucumber sandwiches in the lab?
I don't contaminate my lab with food.
Obviously, you
That'd be
don't. Not the
ridiculous.
contamination of lab with food. It means that you don't want to be consuming what you are working on. Obviously. No more questions.
Joe definitely was not eating in the lab.
You knew all the answers to those. Are you just trying to test me?
Whatever do you mean?
It's okay,
Oh,
darling. I love when you're smart.
Oh gosh. Oh, spare me your nonsense.
I love when you're smart too, Terry.
Thank you.
Edgar just has a way of putting it.
I do it quite often, and yet everyone is always surprised. No one ever stand around to look impressed.
August, you are looking in books for things.
Did I
Like
come
anything
anything
that-
off of my sense? I'm sorry.
Oh, what was your sorry?
Did I come off with anything from my sense roll? Now that we're in like an environment, a sterile environment on this alloy. I'm sorry.
What'd you get?
You can come
on
back
that
to
one?
me. You can
If
come back to
you
me.
would like to roll sense, go for it. I don't know. Let me know what you get.
It was a 5.
A 5. You would probably be able to. I would say you could confirm a lot of what this is.
Sorry, Rick.
What Edgar found. You're definitely sensing this, like. You did a sense roll, you said? So yeah, you would. This thing is giving off a lot of uneasy feelings, like whether you actually know what bleed is or not. It creeps you out, which is weird since it's a shower head.
It makes me
It doesn't-
uncomfortable.
It makes you very uncomfortable.
It makes me uncomfortable, and I want everyone to know about it. Sorry, go ahead, August.
Yeah, so you are investigating through books, you said?
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm kind of torn between focus and sense because, like,
Yeah.
reveal has a lot of good things, but
Yeah.
also analyze and remember, so maybe focus.
Yeah. I would say go for that to start with, and we'll see if you
Yeah.
need to make a sense roll later on.
Well, they're both 5s, and one was
Okay.
the dice, so.
Cool. Then you can get a drive back if you've spent any. Otherwise, yeah, I think there are a lot of books in here. There are artifacts that they keep in these lighthouses. You've done a lot of research. The idea that you get is that they've been messing with alchemical things from days of yore, like the kind of stuff that caused issues with the flare and bleed in the first place, the kind of stuff that caused Old Fair to collapse as a civilization 2,000 years ago. That you think that EONS is messing with that same kind of stuff that they and you would know kind of most of you that have had any interactions with EONS, you would know that they're scientists, but they're like
Spooky
culty
scientists.
scientists.
Yeah. Spooky science.
And they very much believe that bleed provides opportunities, and that experiments with bleed should happen. Basically, whatever old societies existed before failed. It's they believe in like bold action, and they are in a bit of a rivalry with Candela because they mess with stuff to a little bit more of an extreme.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, August is also just gonna like peruse his books just to refresh himself on other stuff as well. But
And you would probably find some notes about different alchemical symbols and practices that they are probably making use of to some degree. Yeah. As And Cedar, you said Terry wanted to try and burn some of this powdered alloy?
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
I'm dropping it on an open flame within the lab's
Oh
glass
wow!
box. The lab has
Okay.
a glass box, doesn't it? Every lab has a box.
Oh, I'm sure
with,
it's got
with
a
the glass,
Sure.
it's got a glass
right?
box,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure. Ooh.
I do it without anybody else, without consulting
Oh
anyone
no!
else.
Of
Can
course.
we put Harry in a box?
You tried that once before, it didn't work. I got out.
Let me
August.
just. I'm going to say this is still a focus roll because you're inspecting and analyzing.
Do you need a control? Oh no, you've got focus.
Thank you.
Probably.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
They say hi.
So yeah, go ahead and make a focus roll. If you would like to spend any drive to give yourself more dice, you can do that.
Oh no, I'm fine. It'll be fine.
Rolls a 1. Oh.
6? Jeez. You're the luckiest person in the world. You have 1 die. And
You just
have
hear-
6.
It
Good
almost was a
grief.
1, but it bounced off the side of my tray. So thank you, ferret, wherever you are.
I know that noise, and I just look up alarmed at Terry.
My
yeah.
my
too.
monocle's extended. Don't
Those
worry,
of
I know
you-
what I'm doing.
Those of you in the lab hear a
And I close it.
it does that same kind of glowing thing that it did in the
Heat.
guy's apartment.
Heat.
It seems to kind of, you know, the like glowy thing that like heated metal does,
Yeah.
basically. Just
happens
briefly.
Chem 101.
Since we've established that the library is directly below the lab,
Yeah.
As soon as August hears all
The
of this,
chandelier like jumps,
Yeah.
and you
he's
just
gonna
hear,
take another. He's gonna take
Fire in
another
the
like
hole!
He takes like another
Josephine-
solid 5 minutes to keep reading, and then he's like, "Well, I guess I should go make sure they're all alive."
Josephine like grabs Edgar and dives behind a desk or something.
Well,
Or
while
Edgar
we're back
grabs
here.
Josephine, I don't know.
So you have a very strange metal that glows very easily when heated, I should say, because it was just a flash of flame. It's not
it was
like
just-
you've been sitting it in a forge for.
So it just went poof, it didn't explode.
No, it didn't explode. It just kind of went foof and has a glow about it. The little particles have a glow about them.
It's zesty.
Maybe it's just the heat.
It's just the heat. That's
We'll try it with
Definitely.
cold, just to confirm your theory.
Well, let's just heat some up in some hot water.
what happens.
See if-
what
see if it-
happens to
see
the
if that-
alloy when it's super cooled? I put it in the fridge.
Try that in. Good.
I'm
Try
like,
heating some up. Does
I
it?
tip
I'll
one of
try
the
heating up
tables
a bigger.
over, and I'm sitting like behind it.
Ooh, a chunk. Give me the chunk.
I'm gonna heat like a slice, shave a bit off the surface, so it's like a peel of alloy, and like heat that up in a beaker of water.
Yeah.
Does that actually start
I'm
to glow?
like this close to it with goggles on.
It does start to glow. It still stays solid,
Interesting reaction.
even as just a shaving in this hot water, but it's glowing brightly now.
I look at Edgar
That's interesting.
and look
I
at the
don't know
shower
what it
head.
means.
I look at the shower head. I look at Edgar. I look at the shower head. I look at Edgar.
It's the One Ring, yes. That's right, Liz.
August just like cracks the door and is like, "Are you all alive in there?"
Last
For
I
the moment.
checked. No
We're all
explosions this
fine.
time.
We're all fine.
Definitely, it reacts to limited, very limited amount of heat. Quite surprisingly,
Is the furnace lit?
Probably.
I presume so. No. Don't
Just
blow
a
up the
chunk.
building.
Just a chunk.
How much is a chunk? We don't know what it does. We don't know if it explodes. We don't know if it melts. We don't know.
Why we need to know.
We don't
'Cause
just throw a chunk in the furnace.
Well, EONS could be working on some sort of a biochemical weapon. Or a metallic
So you want
chemical
to
weapon.
put it into a...
No, just a controlled
ventilation
environment.
system.
It would be controlled environmental.
Yeah, in the whole building.
I'll have to make some notes.
Yeah, just
Yes.
don't
Notes.
burn the place down, please.
A whole building with a thinning that leads to a vault of very
I take
sensitive objects. And
I take one of Edgar's notepads, slide it over to me, and I flip to the you know when you're like writing in your journal or in a book or something like that, and you accidentally skip a page. I do that, and it's very clear that I did that. But I didn't notice.
All right. Get more notepads.
I want to make a math roll.
a math roll? I mean,
Focus.
yeah, I think that's another focus.
4.
There's some sort of weird, like, the math isn't mathing. It's some sort of weird, like, this thing reacts to heat really quickly, but does not melt. And whatever alchemical something or other is happening, it doesn't make sense.
I think,
The math doesn't math.
yeah, I think this is when August would chime in. He was about to go back downstairs, but hearing kind of what they're talking about, yeah, I found some things in some of these books that might perhaps have some relation. It's hard to say.
Is it?
Well,
I'm sure
That's
Paul
good.
would answer somebody's questions, but still.
I've got that covered, don't worry.
We're just getting to the good part.
Well, you decided to make something explode.
It didn't explode.
Look, the
That's what they all
explosion
say.
in here was on the next page. You could have waited.
Anyway, please continue, August. What have you found?
and August is gonna share what he found in some of the books about the symbols and practices.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, if
So
one
it's fine.
were to ascribe a symbol upon one of these alloys, do you think it would have any adverse reaction?
Oh God, I think I'll be downstairs if you're gonna do that.
Magic's not real.
Tara, what are you doing?
Has innate magical abilities.
Tara's not good at all the science stuff, so she basically waits for everybody to go to the lab or the library, and she goes to the Red Lamp District.
Alone.
Yep.
Right.
You went without me?
Yes.
I know the people that work there.
I
Action.
grew up there.
Yeah, but you're not.
A slut.
I'm a
Actually,
whore.
maybe you are a slut.
I was paid.
I know that you're paid. I wasn't talking about you.
Oh.
Maybe Tara is a slut. Who knows?
Anyways, I go there and I try to find the places that Michael would have hung out, because she's good at tracking and spotting and that sort of thing. So
Okay.
searching.
I love how the rogue is in the lab, and the muscle is doing the rogue shit.
She left without me.
Yeah, go ahead and make a survey roll as you ask around.
Probably walked by the door to ask if you wanted to come, heard you reading porn, and was at
6.
the door, and you were like, mm-mm.
Everybody's rolling sixes. Why are you all rolling
I
so
got a 6
well?
and a 2.
I rolled a 4 and a 1 earlier.
And then a lot of 5s and 6s. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been a
These
lot of
dice are
firsts.
real Canadian dice, everybody.
I'm
Canadian
using the ones that Brie gave me at GaryCon. So
Oh,
These
see, there you go.
rainbow fireball dice are very explosive.
I'm actually not using Canadian dice for once.
traitor.
Get out.
No. Okay.
From
So
You beautiful slut. I love you.
you're looking
also-
around Red Lamp. You're able to find some people that know who he is. There's one particular spot he likes to go to, and you ask them a little bit about him. What kind of questions do you ask?
Like,
Country music. Oh, sorry.
what kind of things he was getting up to while he was here, and if there was any particular place that he frequented more than others. Did he talk about his work at all? Any sort of stresses that he was dealing with that he might have mentioned, like, after a few drinks?
Yeah, I'll say you're able to track down in this house. There's like one lady that he really liked, and she is happy to talk to you about him. Her name is Chloe, and she just says, "Yeah, I mean, he just mostly came here to blow off some steam, but I did hear him say last week that whatever he was working on in his work was going to be this like revolutionary thing, and he had managed to get his hands on some of it so that he could sell it later and get a house up in the eaves."
Oh, all right. You wanted to
Seemed
get
to
out
think
of
he was
where he was.
Yeah, seemed to think he was going to get a bunch of money for it, but he said that he was hiding it in his house.
Okay.
Why? What happened to him? Haven't seen him in like a week.
Yeah, he's probably not going to be coming around much anymore.
Oh. All right. Well, add an opening to my Wednesday nights. she yells down the hall. Dang. All right.
Yeah.
Tara free on Wednesdays?
I mean...
Yeah, so that's what you get from that.
Yeah, she basically would just spend time gathering any kind of information about what he was doing there. Like, she doesn't want to go... So, where is... is it called the Steel?
Yeah.
In relation... Yeah, where is that in relation to Red Lamp?
Excellent question. A map would have been nice in the quick start guide.
It's somewhere in relation to it.
It is maybe a couple of neighborhoods away. Steel's kind of on the edge of the city, just so they have space to continue building it out.
So
That's not a map of the city, though.
there is a bar, or there's a map on page 22 that has some of the districts in it. Like, if you look at what it says, it's kind of hard to read, but so way over on the east side is where the factories are, and then on the upper west side is where the
West side.
bars are. So,
Yep, that's where it is.
Right there.
Right there in this scribbled text.
I guess if it's sort of on the way back to the lighthouse, she would maybe make like just a pass by the outside. But if it's not on the way, then she would just go back to the lighthouse after getting information about that, because she doesn't want to go by the Steel without the others.
Okay, gotcha. I'm gonna say you have to pass. I think you would have to pass by the lighthouse to get to the Steel.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just roll up at the lighthouse with like churros.
Churros.
Y'all are making me hungry.
The
Notice
standard
I've been
fare
using
of
the
New
entire
Fair.
stream.
Yeah, exactly.
In the lab, several things are on
There's
fire,
always-
and Terry is swinging a towel around.
Yep.
You come back to that scene from Community where
Yeah.
someone wants to have pizza and everything is on fire.
Yeah,
Joe
Someone's
is
been
still
shot.
reading aloud for
Edgar's
everyone.
got a wool blanket. And
Like,
Terry's
the
just
best
like,
part is that like Joe knows exactly where those churros came from, because there's like one specific cart in the Red Lamp district, so you knew exactly where Tara had been.
maybe
Oh,
we
you
all
got it
know.
from
You don't
Enrique.
know.
Here, you want one?
Yes.
Yes. Snatch.
You can only get churros in Red Lamp.
exactly.
Canon. There you go.
There
Add
you
it
go,
to the
critical
book.
roll.
You got a couple of weeks to add it to the book.
Enrique's
Okay.
churro stand.
Enrique's churros. Yeah. This is an Eldritch horror game, and we're eating churros.
Are you surprised? This is the
Look.
Bacter.
You know.
I warned
okay.
you.
You can
Scooby-Doo.
I know we could call Enrique's churro cart Churray. Churray! Churros.
Churray for churros. Okay, so what other experiments are you doing, if any? Are you actually throwing stuff into the furnace of the
Nope.
building?
Obviously.
you
Not in the
burning
furnace,
it?
no. Controlled fire. Controlled box controlled fire.
Who asked about the
I
furnace?
build a
You
fire
said the
inside of the box.
furnace.
I know I did initially. But
If you
I
even
know
make
I
a move
said I
toward the
might.
furnace, I'm going to take you down.
my finger twitches, but that's it. I build a campfire within the box.
Okay.
August like passed off his gun to Joe before he left the lab. Like, you might need it.
Literally,
Thank
the monocle's extended and looks over. It's like, that's cute. That won't stop me, you know. You
Okay, so
tried
you're
to-
building a
you tried
fire.
before.
Setting up some sort of like little crucible or something.
Sure.
Great.
No. It's a campfire.
It's a campfire. It's a
Unless
campfire,
somebody-
and you're just
nobody
sticking
told
a
me
piece
no.
of metal straight in it.
Not the whole piece. That's silly. That's not really evidence. I just chisel off a chunk.
A slice.
Maybe like a thin slice, like a Jesus cracker.
Why are we doing this again? We already know that it reacts to heat.
I want to know what happens when it's prolonged. What
Okay.
makes it such? What makes it so special? Why
I
are they
tell-
making it?
Tell them what I found out in Red Lamp about he was working on the experimental thing and that,
See?
like he had
Why-
some that he brought home with him because he was going to sell it to get rid of it. But what doesn't make sense is why he would put the
Oh.
shower head on his own
He
shower
was-
if he knew
'Cause he
about
was
it.
hiding
He
So,
was
it.
hiding it.
Yes.
He was hiding it.
but wouldn't he remember to take it off before he took a shower?
Maybe not after a long day, for one thing, but also perhaps some of the workers don't know the extremes of this alloy.
Perhaps he didn't know.
That's fair.
It seems to be a tragic accident.
He's a bit of an idiot
But
and a whistler.
But also, why is this
Yeah.
being created when it can't withstand heat?
Well,
I
exactly.
assume
What?
if it's out in the sun, it's
Why is
going
it
to
special?
Did
react.
This
anybody
is-
bother
this-
to ask what he
if
was
EONS are gonna-
whistling?
what he was
Why?
whistling.
Why would I ask what he was whistling?
I fucking hate whistling. You make it. Oh, when you're back. So
Well,
annoying.
he's not going to whistle anymore.
If it's
It doesn't
something he
have
did
this.
regularly, it might be important.
I told you it was important.
Well, you're free to go ask Miss Edna what he continued to whistle.
She has 2 cats. They're lovely. And then I closed the
Oh,
box
cats.
after like holding the wafer, and I got like my glove and
Okay.
everything. I'm just holding the wafer over the flames, cooking it like a marshmallow.
Eventually, if it gets hot enough, it melts into a puddle on the base
I
of the...
slam it closed as soon as it melts.
So
And it just
looks
kind of
like
stays pooled there.
superheated
And then the
mercury,
oxygen just-
basically.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Edgar is going to take the sample of pink slime with metal fragments in it and have a look at that under the microscope to see what
Ooh.
effect the metal is having on the cells.
Okay. I think that's going to be focus again, I want to
think so.
say.
I think I'm
Yeah.
going to spend another drive. This time I'm going to remember to roll the gilded die.
Can I assist in any way?
You could add a drive to it as well if you have one in intuition. Should be
Me and
another
Joe are
drive.
Nope.
just
I
hiding
announced
behind
the
the table
result.
eating churros.
No,
You do
gonna-
have 3 drives in intuition, so you could lend one to this roll.
I do. I'm looking at face magician, right? That's me, right?
Yes.
And the drives are the ones that are the triangle, the rhombuses, the ass to asses, right?
They're the exclamation points next to intuition.
Oh, those are exclamation points.
Well, they're
Well,
like
no, they're
boxes
not.
that you fill in, but They
The
look
small-
like exclamation
The
points.
small boxes show your capacity for drive, and the tall boxes show your current drive.
I have drive and everything. Good gods.
Yes, yes. So you could use one to lend
Somebody
to this.
stop me.
So you would have 2 left then.
Well, depends on how poorly he wrote.
Well, it's pretty. I'm going to take my gilded die, which is a 2. It is a failure, so I'm unable to see anything. But I will get the drive back for the gilded die, and yeah, I'll get my 1 drive back.
Okay. Do you still have your gloves off?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I do. Well, whilst handling the sample, I'll probably put some gloves on. But
Leathers.
once it's on the slide under the microscope, then I'll probably take it off again to adjust the
Yeah.
controls.
Okay. Oh, yeah, and you took the failure. Okay. How am I gonna do this? Let's see.
Should I add a drive here? He's gonna lose his hands.
Oh no.
Well, he might
But
have
I'm
had higher
curious.
rolls, but he chose the gilded die, so
Mhm.
that's what we're going
To
with.
be truthful, I don't even know if Terry's paying attention. He's probably just waiting. He's watching the
You're
oxygen.
waiting for it to melt, and as you're doing that, Edgar is checking this out under this microscope. You've got it. You see that. I'll give you a little bit of information, just because I'm very nice.
Fair trade.
What you find that what you already know is true. Whatever this metal is has corrosive effects on the skin. As you are kind of moving the slide around and looking at things, you cut your finger on the edge of the glass slide, and I'm gonna say some of this material gets into your finger. I'm gonna have you take
Okay.
a body and a bleed.
We're gonna have
Okay.
to.
That's.
You
What
can
happened?
feel the corrosive nature of this metal as it kind of gets in under your skin a little bit. And
Okay.
the red tinted fingertips of your hand, just a little tiny bit. You see like a little bit
I'm
of
just gonna
pink strip on the
squeeze.
floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna like squeeze the fingertip, try to flush the wound with blood, and like, oh no.
Oi.
Yeah.
What's wrong? What's oh
I
no?
Come
What's oh
over
no?
with a handkerchief and
That's
take his hand and rub
What's
it up
wrong
on
with
the
you?
handkerchief.
Other than the normal
Is it?
things.
Does it seem to be remaining localized, or is it
Yes.
spreading?
Yeah, and once you like flush a little bit of blood through there,
Yeah.
it seems to have cleared it out.
All right.
What
Okay.
happened?
It seems I appear to have lost a fingertip.
Really? And I'm like, you hear like.
Oh,
Yeah, where my
Edgar.
fingerprint should be, it's all slimy and smooth.
Yeah,
Oh, just like mine.
That's-
looks familiar.
Twinsies. Let me see.
Well, I got careless, all right?
I know,
It
but
happens. Don't worry about it.
just hold this and I'll go get Milton. He knows medical things.
Tara, can you get some ice from the box, please? Not the box, not the capital B box, from the ice box.
Honestly, I'm not sure if I should rinse this underwater.
I'm not saying you should rinse it. I'm
Mm.
saying ice to, provide buffer against the swelling.
Yeah, I go get Milton and some ice in a bag.
You don't,
and-
you don't need
Yeah,
that.
Swelling is
Milton-
really the least of my worries.
Well, at this,
Milton
well, at
is
that
able
point,
to.
I'm gonna take some twine and I'm gonna try and keep blood flow away from the tip of the finger, just so it doesn't like go back through his body, just in case.
Right, ow!
It's logical.
Look, yes, that. Okay. I'm really
Milton's
strange.
able to bring
Going to hurt.
a bleed containment vial. He cleans up. And
Did pink sludge come out of his body?
Yeah, it came off the tip of his finger
Mm-hmm.
from the cut. Are you
Yeah,
touching
it's
it?
just
No,
it's a little
I'm
drop.
pointing at it.
It's a little drop on the
On the
white
floor.
counter.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Not nearly as much as you saw earlier. Let's just put it that
Yeah.
way.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I wonder if a fresh specimen has any differences. I take the ice, and I, of course, like... Is there a version of a Ziploc bag in your universe?
I used a waxed paper bag earlier.
Okay, I
Yeah.
do that. I do that, and I provide compress. It's gonna hurt, and I pinch it.
Ow!
Hold this. Milton, can we put that on a slide?
Maybe be careful with
Yes.
the slides.
Oh, of course.
And I'm just helping Edgar keep pressure and
I would like to.
Thank you, Joe.
August.
close.
August is in a different room.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. I go over to the.
We just stomp on the floor.
Yeah, I hop up and down on the floor a few times.
You're being summoned.
And
You
I
can-
take like 3 steps.
You can
take,
hear
like-
through the floor, just like, oh, all right, I'll be there.
I take took 3 measured steps to the right, and then one north way, and then hopped up and down to make the chandelier shake. Exactly where it was.
All right, so are all of you in the lab at this
It's
point?
okay. Just sit down.
What do
for
I
now,
roll the
okay?
microscope?
Yes, all right.
That
it'll be
would
all right.
be a focus probably if you're looking under the microscope as well.
It'll be all right. I would like to use a drive. What do I do with that?
You just add another die.
And does that add to the total, or it takes the best roll?
You take the best.
Takes the best roll. It's just more chances of succeeding, basically.
I would like
It's
to use
highest.
4 steps because I have very little feeling in my fingers, and I feel like that's kind of how Terry works.
Yeah.
Pair of 3s.
Excellent.
Doing great.
Here they come.
Remember all those good rolls?
Yeah, remember that?
Unless someone wants to spend some drive.
You can use I think, do you have a resistance?
I'll give you one of my drives.
Yeah, I mean drives. I think drives are for beforehand, and resistances are for afterwards.
Yes.
All right. I don't know how it works.
Wait, let me look.
Corvée is the one driving this flying
Resistances-
umbrella.
On a failed roll, you may always spend a resistance to re-roll a number of dice equal to your action rating. If that action is gilded, you may choose one of the gilded dice to re-roll.
What's my AR?
So it's however many you have in focus. So it looks like 1. You don't get to re-roll the drive die, you just get to re-roll 1.
Do that. I feel like this is important. That's a 5.
Okay.
The gilded die was a 2. No, I bet 3. Blah, 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 blah. I did not into it. Sorry.
So you don't get any drives back, but you
Oh, okay. So 5.
you can succeed. And
We already have learned our lesson what happens if we mess with this with our body.
yes.
Sorry.
You feel yourself like moving forward towards the glass slide, and then you're like, nope, that's what happened to Edgar. Nope, I'm not going to touch it. And you're able to see the same kind of thing, that this metal has a corrosive effect on human skin. And there's it would be similar to whatever effects that bleed has on people. Bleed is a harmful substance.
Is there a visual difference between the older sample and the new sample?
Not really. It
Is
looks
there-
pinker
Okay.
because it's fresh.
Fresher, more exposed. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any activity within it that suggests either that it is like not alive per se, but
Active.
active? Yeah. Is there anything that would suggest it is active and that may or may not be causing the essential emulsification of flesh?
I'll say, I mean, it doesn't look alive, but the metal has a continuous and continuing effect on a sample.
It's an energy source.
The
When I
metal's
first-
not.
when I
the
went to-
metal's not consumed in the process.
No.
No.
Hmm.
It's still there. It's an energy source. It's ghost rock. I do want to say when I first leaned into the microscope, I didn't like telescope my monocle. Just like clunk, ow. It's an energy source.
Right.
They're trying to make infinite energy. By you burn it. It's still there. It's just a puddle in the fire.
So
But-
hearing that, I mean, August was already going to want to like look a little bit more into Old Fair,
Yeah, look
stuff,
at this.
but now with a little bit more direction, that might give him a more specific, like
Okay.
about energy and things like that.
I like drag you over to have a look just to make sure you see what I see, because I am blind in one eye. Well, partially blind.
Yeah, and I'm looking, but I'm also reading with my other eye.
They go like two separate ways, like a chameleon.
They do now. Oh
Canon.
man, that is a 6 on my gilded die and a 1 on the regular. So
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you don't find any like specific. Well, you find again confirmation of the same thing. Whatever they are doing is basically they are infusing bleed. They're basically finding a way to extract bleed as a pure substance and infusing it into metal. So this metal is infused with bleed on purpose
Yeah.
for something.
How do they-
and so
how do-
it's alchemically, I mean, it's dangerous for sure.
Right.
What? Bleed is usually something that is kind of intangible, not necessarily something that has form. We're able to contain it. But
Yes.
how do
You're able
you
to contain it.
how do you make a physical substance to then intertwine with an earthly substance?
well, I think that's the secret of whatever they're doing to extract it. Probably something that we would have to do some snooping up at EONS to find out.
I look over at Joe.
I'm very focused on Edgar more than anything. I'm still holding the cold compress. And
Do you, I lean into the two of them. Do you need a moment?
what?
I think we've learned enough here in the lab. I think we.
Do
can
I need to amputate your finger?
No!
I do have a license.
Bloody hell, no!
I
Look.
mean, we are the bone saw.
Yeah, but I'm the only one who has an actual license. Actually, I think
I'm
you do.
fine. Right. I think we've learned as much as we can in the lab. We are going to have to find out what purpose they were putting this to. We can see we figured out what it does. Nothing good, at least as far as we can tell. Maybe they have an application for it, but it seems highly risky.
Milton!
Yes.
Has there been any movement from EONS?
There's always movement from eons, I suppose.
Relevant movement, old man. Sorry, that was unkind of me. I think you're lovely. I
Wrapping
think you're
Edgar's
lovely, man, and I
finger.
want to kiss you on your little nose. There, happy?
I mean, we haven't seen anyone go to his flat, if that's what you're referring to.
Has anybody come
Not
knocking?
yet.
They don't
Is there-
know yet.
I don't know yet. Well, fuck.
Well, if he was stealing it, then they don't know that he took it. They don't know
Mhm.
why he's not
You said
shown
late-
the work.
Miss Edna said late shifts. What time would his shift start? If he were to be working today.
Oh, she said long shifts.
Long shifts, yeah. Maybe 10, 12-hour shifts. Usually started early in the morning and got home sort of
Afternoon.
late
So it's afternoon
in the
tea, yeah?
evening. Yeah.
But just missing a shift isn't necessarily going to raise alarm bells.
If he was
No.
working on a project that was
But if he
highly
was,
sensitive,
maybe it would. Maybe it would.
But
So they could-
Tara hasn't seen her contact. Hadn't seen him in a week.
he was working long shifts.
Yes, but the neighbor also said it's been 2-ish days.
Mm. He may not have been working long shifts. He may have been staying late to melt down the alloy into the shape of his shower head so that he could hide
There
it.
is that, yes.
There is that.
Collecting enough scraps to do so.
Yes.
Either way,
Thank you.
I think
What
our
are
next
the
guest is
scraps?
Galvanica.
Scraps of what? What the hell are they building in Galvanica?
Questionable metal
Yeah, we're going.
that shouldn't
We're
be
going to
shower
have to go.
heads.
Well,
Milton.
options. We could
Milton,
march in.
do we have any extra clothes that might be of the working class sort?
I do.
Probably have some around here you could change into if you need to.
I think we would be rather conspicuous, dressed as we are.
I don't know what you
You're
mean.
thinking of
I don't know what you're talking
sneaking
about.
in.
I mean, this is sort of my sneaking in regalia, so...
Well, to be honest, Tara is the only one of us that looks like a cop.
How?
It's your
I
beefy.
look like a cop.
It's your beefy shoulders
I mean, August isn't
your-
so much
and your
wanting to
haircut.
look like a cop, just like
And your
like a
hat.
working class, somebody who could be reasonably employed there.
No, that's what I mean. The only one of us who might not. Well, we all dress rather exquisitely, aren't we? The like sole of my shoe is like coming off.
Tara's dressed like normal working class blue collar family folk. Like
You,
that's-
I saw your Hero Forge, Tara. You are fucking bowler hat. Give me a break. You look like bloody cop.
It
version
would
of
have been
Gopher.
common men's gear at the time.
I
Yeah, that's
know. Common men's gear, a cab.
It
Tara would fit in probably the most up there.
Oh, fine then.
They just have to see me.
And
Well,
actually, if Edgar took a lab coat or something, Edgar would probably fit in up there too.
All right.
Tara
all
like
right, fine.
tucks her hair up so she looks more like a boy.
August, let's go raid the boudoir. We go to the dressing rooms.
All right.
Did we? We cleaned up last time, right?
The bloody hell happens in here? Oh.
Oh, no. No, we didn't.
Wow. How did the footprints end up on the ceiling?
Good lord. So you get dressed and you get ready to head to whatever's next.
Wait, I want to know what August dress is in.
He tries to emulate Tara as much as he can with whatever clothes he can find.
All right.
Basic neutral colors, working class.
I first
Yep.
come out wearing what is essentially like the Victorian version of a flapper, and I shake my tassels.
That's very nice, but I don't know.
Give him
that
the
that-
old razzle dazzle.
It only works in the red lamp.
Then I step through like when you were a kid and you step through the racks of clothes to hide from your parents in the clothing store and then like pop out. I do
Yeah.
that, but I step through it and I come out the other side one step later and just am in chemical workers' clothes,
There you go.
patches and everything. It's just
Nice, nice.
it's like a whoop. All right then, let's go.
And you are a magician after all.
Yes, I do.
Quick
I do
change
this.
artist, yeah.
Oh,
I
that
do
would
this
be
all the time.
handy.
I can teach you how.
I think you're
All right.
plenty handy.
Well, there was only that one time, and we were drunk, to be fair.
Do you head up
I
to
meant
the
Joel.
steel then?
Hmm?
Is that where you're going? Is the steel?
Me and Joe?
Yeah.
Galvanica.
Well,
Galvanica,
I think we're,
okay.
we're all heading in that general direction, aren't we?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
All right.
I'm terribly
Galvanica.
confused.
Galvanica,
All right.
EONS
So
factory.
you
Oh.
head that way, and as you are heading that way, I will have anyone can make a survey roll that wants to. If you don't have any dots in survey,
Mhm.
roll 2 and take the lower. If you want to make a roll.
Roll the floor.
3.
Ugh.
You said roll
Lower as
2 and
well.
take the
Yeah.
lower.
I'm going to spend a point of drive.
Another pair of 3s.
Okay, I've got a 6.
Ooh, okay.
Hot damn.
The failures in this case, I mean, you're looking for stuff, so it's not.
Mhm.
No one's gonna die from a failure. But most of you don't really notice anything. All the stuff in the steel looks the same. It's very industrial looking. Everything has like weird chimneys and stuff. There's labs occasionally.
Wait, can we stop for jellied eels? I'm just gonna grab one, and I get some jellied eel.
Great. You grab a
It's-
snack on the way. You're so
Street
focused on the
food,
snack.
okay?
You're able to find a snack, but not anything else.
Jeremy's jellied eel stand.
Listen, it's a very English food.
Add that to the book. Critical Role. Edgar, as you're like kind of walking around the steel, and
Well,
you
it's a
know
very
what
Londoner kind of.
you
thing,
know,
sorry.
like what EONS does. You know, kind of where their stuff is located, and you're able to find the base of the Galvanica Engineering Works. There's like an office-looking building with a lab attached, and you see a couple of other buildings that, if you've ever been up here before, maybe you didn't notice them before. Some look newer than others. Seems like maybe they've been expanding out here. And you do see... I'm going to say you also notice with that 6, the buildings have letters and numbers on the outside.
Ooh. Do we have a B13?
I think with just a little bit of looking around, you could definitely find B13.
Right.
I'm keeping an eye out as we're making our way through town, like for anybody that's like watching us in particular.
Okay.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think August would suggest that we don't all stay together because a clump of 5 is a little bit more conspicuous.
I'm
Yeah.
walking with Edgar, kind of arm in arm, and I would like to use like a sway roll to make it convincing, like lady of the evening, gentleman.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Sure.
I mean, it's kind of my bag.
Yeah. Go for it.
The second he stopped paying for it,
Edgar's just going to look extremely
6.
uncomfortable.
Well, your
Uh,
finger hurts.
I think with a 6 on that sway roll, you see kind of in the distance, there's like a group of men in white coats heading more towards like an office building place. They look over, they see another person in a white coat, but with
A
I've
lady
got,
prostitute.
of
like,
the evening.
My
a
coat's like
prostitute.
off the shoulders, so the shoulders
Yeah,
are exposed.
And they just
and-
kind of look
yeah.
like look away.
Like nice. Mm.
Probably not super uncommon. They work a lot here, and maybe they call people up from the Red Lamp. Who knows?
Nerds.
There is you do eventually find, like, as you're kind of walking through here, you do find building B13. It doesn't really look like much. It's actually one of the smallest buildings in this huge industrial neighborhood. It almost looks like one of those large outdoor onigami kilns, if you've ever seen one of those. If you're not an art person, I'm sorry, that's what's in my brain.
Yeah, what?
It's basically like a long, narrow building with
How do
a
you
door
spell
at the front, and out the back, there's a long, like, chimney coming out the back.
Oh,
okay.
What's he called?
The door still seems to be just a door, though. There's one door at the front. There doesn't seem to be much else going on with this
Is it an
building.
indoor or an outie?
I just put a picture in our chat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So the door is at where one is, where, like, the fire part is, and then the chimney comes out the back.
Anagama. Anagananamana.
Okay.
I take out the keys from my pocket,
Which is your titty.
of course, and I stuff the money that I'd stolen back in there because everything just kind of came out all at once.
Smooth.
Just kind of slip them into Edgar's pocket as we're cavorting.
You two can be the first to get to the building if you want. And everyone else is kind of...
Why don't we go inside and wait for the others to catch up?
Yes, just make it look convincing, darling.
We'll arrive in dribs and drabs.
Of course.
Edgar fumbles with the keys and like finds one that
Yep.
looks like it might fit the lock.
Yep. There's a longer key and a shorter key. You would guess the shorter key might be for a locker or something.
Okay. Oh.
Sarah
So
wants
you
to be
use.
the last one in.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll try the long one. Gently push the door, assuming it opens.
Yes,
Gently
it
push the
does
door open.
open in. As you go in, you see what looks like kind of a mudroom or a changing room with lockers, and there's gear hanging on hooks on the wall.
Like protective gear?
Yes.
Right.
It's one of those to a locker.
Yes, probably. Here.
I go and try popping open the
Okay.
lockers.
You see there's just a couple little things in here, like a couple rags for wiping sweat, maybe there's some goggles. And in the bottom of the locker, under some old clothes and rags, you would find a mold, like a plaster mold, that looks a lot like it might make a shower head.
Got the mold.
Right.
Protective gear, I'm assuming.
The rest of you kind of can come in
Yeah,
as well
maybe.
if you want.
Right. You come in
And
and
you see
we're
the
like
same
getting
thing.
dressed, which is usually the opposite of what you see when you come into a room with us.
I'm gonna
The
stop pulling on protective gear.
yeah, there's like protective gear. And along the left side wall of the building, there's a hallway with a ramp that kind of goes up, leading away from the mudroom. About halfway up the ramp, there's a door to the right, and then at the end of the ramp, it continues further toward the back of the building, and you do see kind of a faint orange glow from around the corner.
After gearing up, August is going up the ramp.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry,
Are we
you said
all
there was
wearing
another door?
protective
Yes.
suits? Okay.
Very much so. After seeing your
Alright.
finger.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, as you go up the ramp, as you start to go up the ramp, yeah, about halfway up, there's like a flat spot and there's a door to the right. And then the ramp continues up to the back of the building where off to the right there's some other stuff.
I'll
Maybe
try
a
the door.
forge.
I'll try the door to the right.
Okay.
See if it opens.
When you go through this door, so the door opens at about the center of this room. To the right, there's a walkway that leads over to several sunken vats. It almost looks like a distillery. You would think it was a distillery if you didn't know that you were at EONS. And to the left, there's another ramp up along the wall leading to graduated platforms with work tables. And then at the very back of the room, there's like an observatory area with big window.
Is there anybody in the window?
Oh,
Not at the moment, but you could. There's not anyone obviously there, but you can make a survey roll if you like.
I'm gonna
I would like to hide.
spend a drive on
Okay.
that too.
Yeah.
I think August would want to use his extend your senses, because at this point I've got some experience with
Yeah.
this
The
metal
four.
and research.
Okay.
I'm also being sneaky.
I am going to. Okay. Okay.
It's kind of what I do. Keyboard.
Not as bad as when Maggie does it. You're extending your senses. That's just an ability you have, right?
Yeah, I get to add a couple of extra dice.
Yes.
And it's on
to a sense roll.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, so I got 2 5s. The 5, one of them was on my gilded dice.
Okay.
I also feel
This-
like this is something illegal, which is part of my illumination keys. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
Okay.
But it probably is.
That's for XP at the end of the session.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm doing that.
If we're gonna survive.
Yeah. You come into this room, you kind of see things, you're starting to like take a look around. August, you're kind of sensing things. What does it look like as you or feel like as you start to like sense
Mm,
the
I feel like
supernatural?
I feel like I kind of close my eyes and just hold out my hands, and as they're kind of in the right direction, they start to tingle a little bit and get warmer.
Okay.
Fork.
Yes.
Tuning fork.
So a couple things happen simultaneously because those were mixed successes. You're kind of sensing around the room and you feel like very powerful sense of bleed from these vats over to the right. Just as you're starting to realize that, I'm gonna have that's about the same time that Joe is looking towards this window. You don't see any people up there, anything. But as Edgar is standing there as well, Edgar, you smell the smell of rotten potatoes.
Oh no.
Very specific.
And Joe, you see movement, these like little slithery black creatures running along the side of the room, and both Joe and August are going to take a body and a bleed mark.
Oh, my body.
As
I
you
have
are
body
attacked by-
armor,
Oh,
so it should soak.
I
Correct?
okay, okay,
I have a ward, so I can soak a bleed.
okay.
I
Are
also
these
rolled a
things-
6 to hide.
Are these things actually attacking them?
Just let
Yes,
you know.
they are.
Okay.
And I'll let all of you act as you start to notice that there are these gross, kind of wet-looking rat things, somewhat familiar to Edgar, that are... They look like they're coated in tar or something. They've covered in this like black ichor substance. And as they get close to you, you smell what Edgar already smelled, which was rotten potatoes.
No,
When we
this
first-
is bad.
When we first entered in here, that's when I said I hide. Do I even
Mhm.
see this happening? Because I'm like sneaking off and like touching stuff.
I think you would probably hear the yelling.
I
As
look and
they're
I see,
attacking.
and I immediately want to pet them, and I'm like, ooh.
No.
I believe I still have August's gun, so I'm going to
Yeah.
shoot. Because
Okay.
you give me something, it disappears.
That's a control roll.
Okay,
What else do
Sly.
we have people doing?
What does our protective gear look like? Like, is it full body covering, or is it like heavy coveralls, and then our faces are a little bit more exposed since there were goggles?
It would probably be full body to
I'm
a
thinking-
degree, with like goggles.
Yeah. Or possibly like big like welding face plates to
Yeah.
protect them
yeah.
from the heat as well. But they're not hazmat suits, are they?
No, not
they're just kind
full-
of like protection from heat, not
From heat, yeah.
contamination.
Then August is going to take out his ghost blade, and because most of him is covered, he is going to just stick out the tip of his tongue and cut it.
Okay. So you would take a body mark from that, but then you can break in at magical beings with that.
Wow.
Out of curiosity, because I don't remember what you said earlier, what happens whenever I have all of my body marks?
Are they?
I'm not there. I'm not there yet.
If you have 3, you can fill up to 3 and nothing happens. If you're about to take a 4th, that's when you take a scar.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm at
I-
2 of 3.
I got a 6 on my shoot.
Oh, great. So you shoot at these things, one entirely explodes. Another one, like, part of its head seems to be blown off, and it looks really bad. Yeah, they're not hard to harm. There's just several of them.
And I'm
Edgar was
Backing
trying
up
to like
towards-
goes to reach into his jacket to get something and realizes that he's got like canvas coveralls on and he can't do it. So I'm just backing up with Josephine.
Gotcha. Who else is doing something? You were hitting with a ghost blade. Is that, I guess, strike or control? Either one?
They're the same for me, so either
Okay.
way.
I'd like to tip over something on top of them.
Oh, okay.
Not
Ooh.
my companions, of course. Unless they get in the way. But, you know.
Thank you for specifying. I got a 4.
Okay. You're able to take one out, but take another bleed.
Oh, a bleed.
And to knock something over, it says knock down is strike, so
Oh, bully.
go for
4.
it. Jerry.
My
Okay.
ward, does that continually soak one, or is that just like a one-time use?
That's a good question. I don't.
You're the boss.
Gonna say it just soaks one.
Okay. It's a one-shot, so, you know.
Yeah. And then anybody else doing anything? You're knocking something over. You got a 4, you said?
4.
You managed to crush 2 of them as another one runs up your arm and bites you on the ear.
I'm hidden, and I'm wearing protective coveralls. What do you mean?
push
They're
something over, you're not very
magical.
hidden.
So it does really fast rats.
Really fast rats. You take a body and a bleed.
Okay, fine.
Can I
Owie!
try to use my my behind me for that to intercept that?
Sure.
So instead, I spend a nerve, and an ally that's in the area that I'm in that's about to take a mark. I can take that instead,
It runs up
Okay.
my arm, and I'm just like, Kitty!
and I'm just like, I just like punch the crap out of it.
You don't even
Aw.
notice that Terry's there until it's starting to try to bite them, and you like whack it right off.
Yep.
I imagine when I went to go push over like whatever heavy tall object I'm going to push over, I'm like Timon when he's trying to push Pumbaa through the hole. He's like, why do I always have to save your
Emily, I forgot I had this ability, but whenever I take one or more bleed marks, I can gain additional information about the phenomena.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
That's a good one.
freaky?
That
is
is
good,
good.
right?
Okay.
that's really good.
You scary.
So there is like chaos happening in this room, but as this all is happening, you've been like attacked by these weird critters. But I think you would kind of know about these, and especially like if Edgar has ever talked about this stuff, they're not that uncommon of creatures as far as like when you come into close proximity to a thinning or where there's like large amounts of bleed or large amounts of artifacts that people might be using. These things are drawn to bleed. They are composed of bleed. They're nasty little eldritch critters.
I didn't know why
that-
they want us.
They are, yeah, they are trying to take you down with them, basically. They're just like horrible little vermin from the flare, essentially.
Okay.
Dinky.
Um,
They're kind of cute. They stink.
you managed to take several of them out. There's maybe like 2 more. And
Jolly good show on the gunshot. I hide. Not like anyone's going to come
Alright.
try and investigate that, and I dive behind something.
yeah,
I guess I'll take another shot.
all right.
And I'm
Go
going to
for
spend
it.
another drive.
Hide.
As you're aiming, I'm gonna like tug on your elbows. Like, Joe, we have to go.
Oh, of course. Leaving, everyone, leaving.
I'm already skittering deeper into this
5.
place.
5.
Okay, yeah, you managed to take another one out. It splatters everywhere. The smell is horrible, and you just kind of get a little bit like.
I kind of like turn and grab Edgar's
hear-
hand and let him.
You hear the
leave.
distant sound of vomiting.
When you turn towards Edgar, you can see that there's a trickle of blood from his nose.
And I can't even
Yeah.
get a hanky for him.
As August is running to try and catch up with the others, he's gonna try and swipe at the last one.
The last one. Okay, go for it.
No,
Strike.
never mind. It's a 3.
Oh,
Oh, I guess I
Uh,
can use. Oh, I don't have any drive. Shit. Yeah, it's a 3.
You have resistance?
if you have any resistance, you
Nope.
could
Not
roll.
in there.
Oh no, not in there. Okay, you take a swipe, you miss, and it climbs up on you and like bites you in the face. You take another body and another bleed.
Love it.
And this is the last one. Anyone else trying anything?
Yeah,
I
I was
mean,
gonna try to like
Go ahead.
beat it. Like,
Yeah,
beat
yeah,
it up.
yeah. Go
There-
ahead. Roll for
I'm-
strike.
I'm just going to be stamping on like anything that comes close to Edgar and Joe.
I rolled 2 6s.
But
Holy
Oh!
shit!
That's awesome. Wait,
That's
that's
a
like
critical.
a crit.
Oh!
That's like a critical success. That I
You
don't
stomp on it
remember where
really
the
good.
pages are.
I like
Where did
these
I
dice
miss
that you got me, Effie. They work really nice.
Hulk smash, puny potato.
Look, I got one job on this ship.
Maybe-
Okay.
Maybe don't smash it whenever
The
it's on my
roll?
face.
Is a critical success. You get what you want and something extra. So what kind of are you just punching it with your fists, or are
Yeah.
you like?
I mean, Tara
Like
punched
right out
literally
on
my
August's
shoulder.
nose.
Pretty much, yeah. Like she's
Bam.
just like she's
And
just
that's-
basically reacting at this point and just like punches, like across his face to get it off of there.
You punch it so hard that it like explodes, and this like
Of a squeak.
ichor kind of splatters on the wall.
So
It just
gross.
takes like a
And-
small chunk of my nose with it.
You kind of hear like, so you managed to take this thing out, and everything kind of quiets down for a second. What is the extra thing you're gonna get?
I'm long gone.
Um,
Well, not out of the place, in the place.
Mhm.
you feel like tingling in your fist.
Super
It's
fist.
just kind of like
Super fist.
feels really weird, but you can sense like there's like a locker at the top of this room. You can start to feel like a pull from there, that there's some sort of something in this locker at the top of the room. You feel the same kind of pull to that you do to these like vats over here that you thought were just like, I don't know, maybe they're making alcohol or something.
Built-in
Oh.
bleed
Pull
detector.
Can I go pull the thing right off its hinges, like the door of the
Sure.
locker?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'll
aggro.
say even with like no roll needed, you like open this locker. You see in
Shrieking
there,
metal.
there are just shelves full of weird, like, there's like a brooch, some sort of like statue of some kind. All of them, and like, August, you would feel this too. There's just
August
like
shit.
bleed soaking off of these items. Maybe they're what EONS is using to kind of extract bleed to infuse into this metal.
Edgar, Joe, you might want to look at this.
Yeah,
Um,
August is gonna like try to grab as much as he can.
Okay, yeah.
I have bleed containment vials. Like, does that help with containing these
Yes.
things?
Yeah. I do too.
Yeah, you can.
Edgar's mostly just. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, Edgar's just mostly just turning around in the center of the room, just like looking in all the corners in case there's more of these rat things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
It's
following
really
his
freaky.
lead and got the gun ready and
Yeah.
just sort of back to back with Eddie.
There.
Okay.
Buttons. Because
There-
I have decided to go deeper into this into the
Yeah.
once more into the abyss, if you will.
Are you going towards the vats or towards the window?
I'm not interested in what's going on outside. I'm interested in what's going on inside.
Okay. So, over by the vats, there's not really buttons, but there's like things that you could turn like
Valves?
valves. Yeah.
You're gonna roast us all.
Also, I'll say, so are you gonna start messing with the valves?
I would like to try and you kind of survey where things lead and what things do, and
Oh,
decide
sure.
and come to a decision. You know,
You
before
can
I
make a
come to
survey roll with that. Tara, while you're up by this locker, you're also right next to the window. And you do see like a forge area. There's several of some kind of mold or something. It looks like they've been pouring metal into.
I rolled a 5.
Okay.
Oh no,
Okay.
not that
That's a
laugh.
mixed success. I'm going to say you are going to take a bleed mark,
Okay.
but you do see there are pipes going from these vats up towards the front of the room by the window and out of the room towards
Okay.
whatever the forge is over there.
My backstory does include me scaling things, so I'm gonna climb up and out the window. Following the pipe.
Okay.
I thought we were leaving.
You just it's real. It's just all limbs. It's like.
So you're going towards the forge then.
You
Front
guys-
door, then?
We're not safe here.
No, we're not, but our idiot is being an idiot.
I pour some oil on the hinges of the window and I just go, and I just drop out,
Okay.
and it slams gently shut behind me.
All right, well,
Wait, is that the window
Tara
that was
seems-
right by me?
Yeah.
Can I yoink them as they go by?
I'm up and over. What are you? Long arms McGee over here.
Oh.
What do I gotta roll to resist?
Sure. Gonna say strike to grab and move to dodge.
Get me a 6, baby.
I got a 5.
You got a 6? I can't even hear you because it's like.
Your
Sorry,
mic is
it's
next
a natural. It's a natural 6.
Okay, great. So you are able to get out.
You're like Terry, and you just like snatch at it, and it's like when you see a raccoon out on your porch and just like, eyes glowing in the dark.
So Terry is now out by the forge. You're still all in this room.
Contain all
Or
that stuff. We'll
by
get
the door.
the idiot, and we'll go, Ed and I, to the front door of the forge. Like the main access.
Just clarity, this is like a smelting area, and then there's like a doorway through to a forge area, which has got these molds that we.
Yeah, if you were to go back out and up the ramp further,
okay.
that's
Okay,
where
okay.
the forge
right,
is.
right.
But there's a window out that you can
Okay.
Can I
see.
see
If you-
from where I am what the molds are shaped like?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask as well.
Well, that's what I
make
want
a
to know. But I think
survey, unless you
I figured we'd have to
get
get
out and get closer, then you can do a focus.
You 1,000%
I rolled
find a
5.
puddle of my vomit because
5?
the rotten potatoes, man. You know, that's what that gagging sound was earlier.
A 5 from here.
It's jellied eels.
It's like
August also got a 5 because he's with Tara.
okay. There are like shorter ones that have like kind of they're like this, like shorter cylinders, and then there's longer cylindrical ones. And then there are some really small ones that you can just see like really shiny metal. It looks like something's been poured into them, but they're very small and just in a long row.
They're making bombs.
I'm
They're
gonna say,
making
like,
bombs.
Bullets, maybe.
Bullets, cannonballs, you name it. War crimes.
Great. We're in a weapons factory.
I don't think Geneva exists. Maybe Genovia.
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway.
Let's go after Terry.
All right, let's
Well,
go. And
You.
Ed and I go.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're going after Terry.
Yes, you're containing the bleed in those
Yeah.
relics.
So
Mhm.
me and August will take care of that then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine that Terry just looks like Jack Skellington, just limbs and a head. Really
You're the
absurdly long,
first
skinny
out.
body.
You're the first out into this forge area. Would you like to make a focus roll as you start to look around?
For you, anything. Oh wait, hang on. I get 2 of these. Okay, I got a 6. On the highest roll is a 6
Okay.
on the gilded die.
Oh, even better. You get a drive back.
I'll take that drive back.
Um,
Vroom vroom, motherfucker.
as you are starting to look around here, you see.
I am still maintaining my level of sneak. I have tried to stifle my giggling.
Okay.
I'm like,
You see these molds in different shapes. They look like parts to a gun.
of course. Oh, how
And bullet.
oh, boring.
Uh,
Skitter.
You also see there's like tongs and things for this forge, and it looks like the forge is hot and there is molten metal inside.
No, no, no. No, no, no.
Pipes,
No, no.
pipes.
The pipes seem to there's like they kind of converge into one on the right side of the room and they come up the side, and there is a pipe that kind of leads to the side of the forge, but it has like another valve on it.
I'm trying to pinpoint the origin of where they might be keeping bleed.
You would guess that would have been the vats back
Okay.
in the other room.
So that was just where the bleed was, where they keep the bleed, but not where they got it.
Right. And I'd say because it's getting later and we've made a number of very successful rolls, all of you would start to be able to put together basically what's happening here is they're
This.
using artifacts from Old Fair. The ones that you found in the locker would be some of them. But they're using these artifacts that are contaminated with bleed, that are from like the flare, like affected by the flare. They are using them to distill some sort of bleed substance
That's a lot.
into these vats that they are then piping the bleed into this molten metal to create bleed infused alloy.
Based on my background in studies as well as university as well as the people that I know, is I keep calling it gallantry, but it's not what the place is called.
Oh, the Galvanica.
Galvanica.
Yes.
Mhm.
Are they weapons specialist or licensed to be so? Are they connected to a government entity?
It's a lab owned by EONS, basically. The Exoteric
Esoteric.
Order
Mhm.
of
New science.
New Sciences. Yes, thank you.
And this are they technically considered a government organization? Or is this
No.
or is this like a freelance supernatural kind of bullshit?
That.
Okay, free natural. So they don't have. So this is essentially what they're trying to do is be like private contracting to provide weapons of war. Is what I'm kind of gathering here. the
Maybe
highest
that.
bidder,
Or I mean, they do all sorts of experimenting with bleed, with stuff from Old Fair. They're always kind of messing about. They've got labs, industrial spaces, like they're doing all sorts of stuff with bleed. It's like a weird kind of cult scientists.
Cool. Buttons, levers, please.
There's a valve here.
Just one.
Yeah.
Where's it lead? Like
It's from the pipes and it leads into the forge.
How active is this room? Meaning, like, how many people are here?
Um,
Or is it after shift?
it seems to be after shift. You can hear Edgar and Joe coming up the ramp towards you.
I'm like hanging. I'm like hanging on the side of the wall, like.
It is very hot because the forge is hot.
Yep, I know. I'm wearing my.
But you're wearing your
I'm
protective
like
stuff.
I'm like hanging off of a ladder, like to the side, just like.
Okay. And I'll say at this point, Edgar and Joe get up there as well.
Terry,
Where is he? I've pulled a
up
rag out
there,
of
of course.
You're gonna alert somebody. Shut up.
Don't touch
There's nobody
anything.
in here.
What?
There's nobody in here.
I know. I'd like to keep it that way.
What are you doing?
Learning.
I-
Working things out.
What are these?
Weapons of war. Or potential.
Yeah, you
potential
would
gun.
Gun parts.
see
Gun-
the same thing, yeah.
Guns, bullets, terribly boring,
Interesting.
but highly unethical. Very fascinating. Imagine
Could
what
be
that.
useful against
Imagine what
creatures
the
from the flare.
Of course. What kind of a war would that start?
Mm-hmm.
And with
We're
whom?
already at war.
And at what cost?
And you noticed.
You look like shit.
I've encountered those rat things before.
They smelly.
They are.
We need to
Yes.
leave very quickly. If there's a way that you can very quickly break all this.
Oh yes.
Okay.
No, yes. I was hoping you would ask me. You'll have to run. You want to run though.
That's what I thought.
Very fast. Now.
Is the gallery room sort of like off of this, or is that
Yeah.
like back out into the corridor and in through another door?
Yeah, so the gallery is just the top of that room that you were just in. It's kind
Okay.
of where Tara and August were standing, and
right.
there's like a big window, and it's like where they can watch, where the scientists can watch what's happening in the forge.
I guess I'm just looking to see if there's obviously there's some stuff in the molds, which is presumably
Yes.
still cooling.
It seems to be cooled, although it has a little bit of a glint because it's a very warm room, and you know it's very sensitive to the heat, but it doesn't. It seems solid. They seem solid.
Take the hot canvas duffel. We'll need samples.
Right. Yeah. I'll take a duffel bag from. I'll go back to the protective clothing section if I need to, grab something and just like with protective gloves on, scoop all of this like stuff into a bag, gather it all up.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there any evidence of other metal stuff being moved away from here, or is this the stuff cooling in the molds is the only stuff left?
That's the only stuff left.
I will like point out to them like the pipes and where they go and where they're coming from and things like that.
Yeah.
It's like they extract the bleed over there and they come over here and they mix it together like some sort of horrible cake batter and then they make weapons of war.
I
Wonderful.
whistle
Then they all shall eat cake. Oh,
very
fuck.
sharply for Tara and August. Is sort of our code of time to leave.
Okay.
Then you do the other whistle that's for Terry's doing some shit. Oh, Terry.
Yes.
We don't need a whistle for that. We just know that
You probably just have one.
When
Yeah.
when it's time to leave, it's because Terry's doing shit.
Yes.
While we're looking at these objects and gathering them up, did we see any evidence of like the twins or Violet?
Ah.
Figures of
Hmm.
importance.
Anything that might tie them to this on like that we could prove tied them to this?
I'll say make a focus roll.
Well, they haven't
See if you
technically
can find
committed any crimes yet. Aside from unlicensed arms dealing. There might be contracts in the office.
Or?
Yeah.
I'll say you could find something with like a sign-in sheet or something, where they're like marking down experiments. I'll say that you can find stuff that seems to be signed by E. Dryden. Occasionally, you don't know which one of the twins, but maybe they're and they're. I'll say you could also see the name A. Herod written on one of those sheets, which you might think to mention to Edgar
Okay.
as well.
I'll just grab the sheet and
Okay.
then
Do we
grab
know
August
if they have
and
any buildings?
They do have office buildings
Ooh.
and other labs and things.
I'll have to see if my contact's still there. Anyway,
Right.
get out.
We go.
I'll meet you back at the lighthouse.
Please don't die.
Explosions in the sky, that certain rush of words covered with ideas that I am not so afraid of. That simple touch of a pen, poet's picture as current heaven.
Oh no.
What are you doing to try to destroy this forge?
Oh baby, I'm like Spider-Maning around, and I'm like opening valves and I'm pushing buttons. I'm just like I'm like in this, but I'm doing it in succession because I have looked to see how these affect these things. I am creating a chain chemical reaction, which will also possibly give me the room to escape, or at least blow out of a chimney. Actually, I would like to ride myself out of a chimney. That'd be fun. I am skinny like a rail, like a chimney sweep.
like I said, the zipper.
Whee!
Okay. I want you to make a focus roll,
Or I
want-
could use my innate magical ability.
or that. You could
Yeah,
do that.
anyway. So the building's gonna blow up behind you. Horrible.
I want everyone else who's running away to make a move roll and a survey roll and tell me what you get.
I'll give them like a
Uh,
10-second head start.
Wait.
One.
Spending
I've got-
drives.
If you have no pips in a skill, how many dice do you roll?
You roll 2 dice and take the lower. It's like
That's the one.
disadvantage.
Alright.
Okay.
I got 6 on my move.
I think
But I will take a penalty if I can help Edgar.
Okay.
Like to 5 or whatever.
Sure.
Amazing.
Sure.
I rolled a 5 on my gilded dice for move,
Okay.
and then a
What
4 on my survey.
Can
My
you
move.
spend one drive on a roll?
What?
Oh, I don't know.
you can spend as many drive as you like, I believe.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Um,
As long as you're
my-
doing it for yourself. I think you can only lend one to someone else.
My
Gotcha.
2 dice with disadvantage gave me a 6 and a 1.
Oh no!
I also got a
That's
6
my
on my
move.
gilded for survey.
Okay.
So
I need-
they...
Accepting my madness
Oh, one of those is...
based off of my previous rolls.
Oh! Survey? 6 on the gilded, so I get a...
Ooh, a drive
Drive
back.
back.
Yes. Okay. Oh, we've got some things happening.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a 4 on my move, and I got a 5 on my survey.
Okay.
Can I spend one of my resistance for Edgar? Or is that not how
Sure.
it works? Okay. So
I don't think that's how it
Cares.
works. But it's the end of the game and I'm gonna let you do it anyway.
okay, that's what I do. Spend my
We're-
resistance.
We're doing what we want to play this game. Okay, so you can re-roll one if you would like. Re-roll that one. And I'm gonna say, yeah, you're able to help out, so that you all get moving, except for Terry, who is back, trying to blow things up. Oh, okay.
It's what I do
okay,
best.
Okay.
That's what I do best.
Yes. Oh, because you can kind of do that.
I can do that. I use
Um,
everything that I've ever learned. Flash, paper. Ooh, hang on. Which items did I say that I had? I said I wanted my flash powders, my smoke bombs, my gimmicks, and my hidden weapon.
Okay.
If anyone tries to stop me.
So this is the okay. So you're doing the prestige, right? For
Yes,
your thing.
at the end of everything, yes.
Yes.
Yes, please.
You start opening valves,
Yes.
and as you do, things are starting to happen. You're starting to hear like
I'm turning the
kind
heat
of a
up.
steam-powered squeal.
Now that's much
That-
better than a whistle. Ha!
And you all hear this too, but as you're listening to it, you also hear the steam-powered squeal, like whistling sound, turns into like,
A shriek, doesn't it?
yeah, like humanoid screams almost. And they're layering on top of each other in this like discordant sound.
Be free!
You use your prestige ability, so you roll sense when you perform it. So roll a sense.
I keep opening up the wrong tab. Too many tabs. Sense, I've got 2, and I have
2.
a gilded in here.
And you
Oh, wait, no, I don't have
you
a
can
gilded.
you don't have a gilded, but you can use
have
a
a drive.
drive if you want to add more dice.
I will add a drive, because I need this to work. Okay, well that's a 5.
Okay.
With the gilded added.
So on a success, you do take a bleed mark,
That's
but you successfully are able to.
I'd like that to be a role play moment, thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh,
Describe
sure.
how this happens.
What's that film, V for Vendetta? I want to Guy Fawkes this fucking place. Y'all just get out, and it's just like... Bing, 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 bing. Bang, bang! People are running and screaming, there's debris flying everywhere, these otherworldly entities are flying everywhere, and the building just collapses in a wall of fire and flame, and a mushroom cloud goes up, and it smells horrible.
And when you do your particular ability, what does it look like to your friends as they are running out of this building? You just kind of appear, basically?
I'm standing at... I turn around. I'm just standing. I turn around as they come and skidding to a halt in front of me, and I'm at Enrique's Churre for Churros cart, and I've bought a handful of churros. What took you? Well, it took you so long. My hair's on fire. My eyebrows are on fire. my whole all my clothes are smoking. There's holes ripped. It.
All right. So you're all running. You all successfully
right now.
managed to get away.
I'm quite glad. Oh.
But I am going to end it with this. This small forge you have successfully blown up. And we see kind of as this adventure ends and you all manage to get away, having extracted these bleed guns and having fully managed to make your way out from the rubble of this forge. A molten glow appears and a creature made of this molten bleed metal oozes its way up out of the rubble, forms itself into a kind of glowing molten monster with kind of like stretched features. Kind of, you know, the
shiny
like
muck.
Gross, you know, the monster in Fern Gully,
the sexy
Hexus.
monster in Fern Gully.
Yeah,
Hexus. His name is Hexus.
You know the part where he's like forming into a being and he's real goopy and gloppy?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. But that's where we're going to end, with this thing pulling itself out of the wreckage of this forge. And you hastily running away with the rest of the EONS scientists and just regular laborers in the steel trying to escape as the periphery runs in to try and figure out what happens. And that's where
Tara
we're
like
going
throws
to.
me over her shoulder, and like I'm just like
And-
giving churros over the shoulder. I'm just my hair's still on fire. I'm just like that seems like a problem.
Yeah.
Force of
Oopsie.
EONS 2!
Yeah. When is part 2?
And
I
then
want to be
part
your
2
foe.
coming soon.
We have to wait till
Part two-
next year.
Yeah, part 2 coming
Oh.
after the book comes out.
Foe,
We can
foe,
play it.
foe,
Well,
foe.
I'm just
We can
saying
play
there
it,
is
right?
a holiday winter one-shots.
That's also true. That's
Just
also
saying.
true. Possibilities are endless.
Because
And there is the little adventure in here too that could be.
There is a little adventure in here too.
Beyond.
Yeah. Yay!
that
Thank you
was
everyone for playing.
awesome.
We didn't
You did
die.
great,
Nice.
Em.
You didn't die. Did anyone get a scar?
I
Uh,
came really close.
I feel like we got off quite lightly.
I
Not
think
yet.
I was gonna make you fight that thing, that forge monster,
I'm not sure if
but you blew the place up. So next time.
I'm not sure if Tara punching the rat thing off of me negated that bleed.
The one where I crit.
Yeah. If that negated everything, otherwise, I'm full on bleed and brain,
Are you?
or bleed and brain, or maybe it was body. I don't know.
Baby.
Next, just keep these sheets, keep track,
Oh yeah.
and
I've marked
we'll
everything
see.
to hell, and it's gonna be great.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll see who gets
Yeah.
scars next time.
We have churros.
All of us. Well, all
In the meantime, you get churros.
We get
everyone's
churros,
gonna get
and
scars
my
next
We get it's our shawarma.
Yeah.
my ability to teleport is literally just me launching myself through space and time like a fucking rocket,
Nice.
which is why I'm on fire.
Ooh.
Let's
That
go
was
around
so
the
cool.
table.
Magic doesn't exist.
Real
Yeah,
quick
let's-
again. Emily, thank you so much for running this. Who are you? Where can we find you?
I'm Emily. I'm Corvée on most social medias that exist. I do drawings. I have painted minis, although I haven't in a while, but I need to pick that back up again. I write adventures for all sorts of games. I like to play games. I like to tell stories with my friends. So
You also
um,
created your own game.
I did create my own game. You can probably find that
Did
on
you?
the
What is it called?
YouTubes.
Shortly.
It's called Ominous.
It's not up
and
yet.
it's gonna be up eventually. We played it like a week ago, so
Mhm. I am
Nice try.
behind.
hey, that's okay. Spooktober is a lot. Don't forget to
Back that
donate.
ass up.
Chris, thank you
Hi,
for
I'm
joining
Chris.
us.
Yes.
I'm Chris Payne, and you can find me on as most of the socials as Keyhotl, QIXOTL. Yeah, I'm looking forward to concluding this.
Part 2. A ship.
It's never a one shot.
I ship it.
Never a one shot.
Nope, never.
Never watch.
Cedar.
Always two.
Hi,
Hi.
I played Terry.
Yeah, you did. Okay, that was good.
Accurate.
Rick.
Peter the Barefoot everywhere. Bye. Thank you for watching. Love you all.
I'm Rick. I'm the game master for Hammer of the Gods. I forgot to mention earlier, but I also write for Even Footing Games, and then I'm here as much as you guys let me be. So
Yep. Which is pretty much always.
Yeah.
Artemis?
I'm Artemis. I'm the social media manager and content coordinator for the Voctaire, Affy's personal assistant. I don't know. It was my job to organize this circus, so
Group mom.
Yes.
yes, I am literally the group mom.
Yep. And I'm
In life
Affy.
and in game.
True. Accurate. Very much so. I'm Affy. I run the Vectaire. You can get me there on the socials or over on Affy the DM. Either way, that's fine. I don't care. Whatever. Don't talk to me. Fine. We're gonna rate somebody, but if you got a couple bucks in a couple minutes, if you could donate to Extra Life, that would be really awesome. You can donate via the link in chat that's pinned there or in the module down below the video screen on Twitch. So we're gonna go raid Stronghold D&D. Tim is an amazing bean, and you should give him a follow when you get over there. they're lovely. So, thank you, Critical Role, for creating this wonderful game. I can't wait to play again when the full book is out. And thank you for letting us use your soundtrack.
Yeah.
Have a good night.